Good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of the Saturday Football Show with myself, AGT. To my left, I've got a very upset, in pain, frustrated, angry Matisse.
Yes.
It's good to see you though again. I didn't see you on Monday. Where were you?
I had a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, really?
Didn't sleep all night, stuck in the ends of South. Mess around, just long day, long weekend indeed. But
what was
best believe I'm not ducking and running because I would love to cuss this Chelsea team on as many platforms as I can get a hold of.
Good. Well, listen, your channel's flying at the minute.
Unfortunately.
If you haven't already, go over and subscribe to Matisse. I wonder why. To my right today, he was just did a brilliant co-hosting job earlier on the Manchester derby. Fu, how are we doing, brother?
My guy, good to be back. Listen, I'm enjoying today. Today's my day of enjoyment before the real business kicks off tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for the vibes, and we saw a good game earlier on with the Manchester derby. Of course, United nicking it the last 10 minutes, but hope for some more goals now. Absolutely.
We've got the 3 o'clock kickoffs for you covered on DR Sports. We also have Ben Spalding, the Brighton fan from Seagull Social. I'm hearing he's on his way, gents. So we'll have to give him a bit of a...
Hey.
Are we still doing the chilies?
We hijacked
as our friend says here, lateness is greatness, isn't it?
Well,
is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he is going to be watching with us Brighton face Liverpool at the 3 o'clock kickoff at the Amex. Everton play Southampton at home after their directors have been told not to attend the game today at Goodison Park for fears of their own safety. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Wow. Forest at home to Leicester. Nice little Midlands derby, that one. And Wolves at home to West Ham. 4 nice games for us to watch, lads. And then, of course, Brentford play Bournemouth at 5:30. Big up to everyone involved in the chat already. Keep your chats coming in. Do remember that if you want your chat to be read out without question, then get involved with the super chats. That will help you get bumped up to the very top. But I want to hear all your reaction now to Manchester United beating Manchester City 2-1 at home. As you said, in the last 10 minutes, we covered it here on DR Sports. So much to break down after that result. But let's get into a couple of lineups before we get into the 3 o'clock kickoffs. 12 minutes away. And of course, we'll dissect that Manchester United win as well. Brighton versus Liverpool. Obviously, a massive game for both teams, really. When you look at the table, if Brighton win this one, they go above Liverpool. And Liverpool need to stay in the mix, really, with that top 4 race. Apparently, big cheers from the Brighton fans who have taken their seats early at the Amex for Alexis McAllister when his name was read out. The first time he'll be playing in the Premier League since he became a World Cup winner. The Seagulls have won their last 2 matches by a combined score of 9-2, by the way. So this team is not one that Liverpool can take lightly, for sure. Also, rumours today that Tottenham in for Trossard, potentially. He's been having some... What do they call it? Poor attitude issues, Matisse?
Yeah, I'd say potentially that early season form has maybe got to his head, and the World Cup didn't really actually feature that much, so that wouldn't have gassed him up at all. He was coming off the bench more time. But I think there's some sort of disagreement between him and De Zerbi. Obviously, he's not going to take too kindly to the fact that he's trying to cause a fuss in the middle of the season, considering Brighton are high and flying above us as well. So... yeah, I think he's made the right decision to pull him out of the team and maybe see if he can get his head right. He's maybe been turned away. Agents giving him some good news. Maybe there's a team interested. Obviously, his contract's running out anyway, so I don't really get all of the monarchy and all of the fuss because you're leaving the club. You're not signing a new contract, and your contract's running out in 6 months. So you just stay at Brighton to the end of the season and make your summer move. And you'll do your full pre-season with your new club. Stay professional. Yeah, stay professional.
Until the time,
So I don't really understand. Well,
let's see who they've lined up with today. Sanchez in goal, Pascal Gross, the captain Lewis Dunk, Sam Wells, Colwill and Estupinian make up the defence. Caicedo, the Liverpool target, how will he perform today against potentially his next club? Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winner, also in that midfield. Solly Marsh, Adam Lallana playing against his former club, the Liverpool, I would say legend, right? This guy won Champions League, Premier League at Liverpool. One of Klopp's favourite ever players to manage as well.
Listen, you're the Liverpool fan. If you call him a legend,
yeah, no, I'll give him that. He's a legend. The Asian superstar, Mitoma, ripping it up right now. Yeah. And Ewan Ferguson plays through the middle, up front. 2-2 for him as well, let's not forget. Alisson, Becker in goal. For Liverpool today, Trent, a new pairing of Joel Matip and Ibu Konate start for Liverpool. Andy Robertson at left back, Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, that ageing midfield. Will it be a problem today for Liverpool? Mo Salah playing off the right. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain playing off the left, and it's Cody Gakpo, number 18 for Liverpool, playing through the middle. I have had word that Ben Spalding is in the building. It's been a long trip from Brighton, I believe. And he's joining us on the set. Now let's give him a little clap, round of applause as he enters.
How's it going, man? You good?
How are you? No, listen.
Big up, you good?
Enjoy. What's your initial reactions then to that Brighton lineup? We obviously had you on the Cop TV yesterday, and tell us.
No right back, if I'm right.
Pascal Gross kind of playing.
Well,
there.
he might be slotted in right back, which I'm not really a fan of, to be honest. I don't know how that's going to go against a pacey winger that you might have. What's your lineup?
Well, Chamberlain's out.
I had no Wi-Fi on the
Chamberlain is playing off the left.
Catch your breath, don't worry.
No, big up. Listen, let him catch his breath.
Chamberlain on the left-hand side is not very...
Doesn't fill me with confidence,
no,
Matisse.
Yeah.
Salah and Gakpo make up the other two. So Gakpo through the middle, up against Lewis Dunk and the like. Let's get into a couple more lineups of games kicking off at 3 o'clock today. Only 4 games that we've got for you, but this one equally is important for Everton, really, when you look at it, and Southampton, when you see how far down they are in the table. Yeah. Pickford in goal, Ben Godfrey, Connor Cody, Tarkowski. Seamus Coleman comes back in as the captain at right back. Iwobi, Onana, Gay in midfield with Mikalenko, Damari Gray and Dominic Calvert-Lewin starts for Everton today. Southampton fresh after slumping, I will use that word, slumping Manchester City. They embarrassed them. It was almost a training session at the end. They were Ole in every pass. It was embarrassing.
The goalkeeper thought he was having a training session.
Positioning was horrendous.
Howler. Bazunu in goal. Kaleta Carr. How do you say his name? It's Lyanko? Salisu Lavia, who was getting massive praise after that game, obviously former Man City player. Kyle Walker-Peters, the free kick specialist, and arguably now the best free kick taker we've ever seen in the Premier League. James Ward-Prowse, I'm putting it out there. Him and Beckham for me.
Really?
Yeah, really? He's one away from Beckham's tally in the Prem in terms of free kicks, and that's the highest.
That's insane.
El Yunusi, Diallo, Edozie, and Che Adams up front for Southampton as they travel to Everton. Reaction to that one?
Fandabidozi, great. His dad was a great player. Love that tweet. Reaction, will they be able to do the exact same thing? It's a massive game, though, isn't it? That is a huge game.
They're only 3 points off coming out of the bottom 3. West Ham are only 3 points ahead of them in 17th. So the relegation scrap is very close. And I think Southampton, they showed against City that technically they actually can ball out. You know,
big time.
They got some young players. Obviously, they've been trying to recruit, and they are pretty prepared for the Championship in my opinion. They've got some obviously big sales in Kyle Walker-Peters, Ward-Prowse, Lavia, but they do look like a team that is equipped and responsible to go down and come back up. But they should definitely still feel like they can get out of that. That performance against Manchester City, I watched the game, it was incredible. They were technically just bopping it.
Where did it come from? Because
insane.
Nathan
That's
Jones,
what I was going to say.
There was some mistakes, there was some complacency
because since he's come in, I felt like there's been no new manager bounce. There hasn't been any life within Southampton, and then out of nowhere they beat. I think what you said there is there was a little bit over complacency from City's end where they just kind of thought it was going to be a training ground affair. But with Southampton, I don't know. I don't think they should be getting relegated, in my opinion. I think they've got too many young talents. I think a lot of the issues in the first half were probably they had a lot of them out injured, where you kind of had Lavia for bits. You had Livramento, who's still out for large parts of the season. Broa, who they had last season, has gone missing. And I don't think Armstrong, who's one of their record signings, has ever really lived up to filling Danny Ings' boots. And I've always felt the second you're in that bottom half, lower tier of the table, you always need like a 9 to 12 goal a season striker, whether it's a Glenn Murray, a Callum Wilson. If you've got that, you've got some kind of hope to stay up. Other than that, it's like you're kind of just hoping for one of the prospects to step up.
Osic from Dinamo Zagreb, a player that has dunked on my head, dunked on your head. And I think he could bring that goals. Hopefully, he's
the guy wakes up from his bed like. Every time I hear the name Orsic, it sends shivers down my spine, bro. That guy has haunted me forever.
6 million they signed.
I think, bro, he scored a hat-trick against us, if I'm not mistaken. And they were like worldy goals as well. I'm like, who the hell is this guy, and why is he haunting me, and why is he playing for a manager in prison?
they kind of missed their manager bounce, didn't they? Because of the World Cup, they got him. I think they had a game before, maybe it was a cup game.
Yeah.
And then they missed missed the time where they were meant to have their manager back. So they had a 6-week break. It's very unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
As a Brighton fan, Nathan Jones is a former Brighton player, so I kind of wish he does do well.
Yeah.
He was a former Yeovil left-back captain.
Was he?
He was, yeah. I've seen him play a few times down at Hewish Park. Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Henderson, Aurier, Worrell, McKenna, Lodi, Yates, Freuler, Mangala, Scarpa, Johnson and Morgan Gibbs-White, the man who, former Wolves player, joined Forest under a cloud of controversy and gave it one of those after he scored in the penalty shootout the other night. It's another Midlands derby for Forest again today. Danny Ward in goal, Castagna, Amate, Face, the Liverpool striker, Thomas at left back, Ndidi, Mendy, Albrighton, Tielemans, Harvey Barnes and Jamie Vardy gets a start. A rare start these days.
Yeah,
interesting
They still have yet to replace Vardy properly. Perez is not really it at the moment. Iheanacho kind of comes out. Like literally, Harvey Barnes will bust for that attack from what I watch when I see Leicester. So, but they performed pretty well against you guys. And if it wasn't for FaZe, as you said, kind of doing the double agent thing and scoring a couple goals.
Love to see it.
It's crazy because prior to that Liverpool game, I thought he's actually been one of their better players this season. I was like, do you know what? They don't even miss Soyuncu or Evans' injuries. I was like, Fofana. But
Vestergaard's not starting games as well.
I mean, Vestergaard. I mean, the second he went there, I was like, he does not.
Strange signing, wasn't it?
Was it not expensive signing?
He was
Was it?
Vestergaard was a big.
I don't think it was 30, but it was.
He was meant to be like the. You know what? He will come and slot in and help us step up. And I think, in my opinion, he was that Southampton level. That was his level, and anytime you ask him to kind of step up, his pace was always going to get exposed. And I think the early couple of games he played, fish out of water, bruv.
The last game is Wolves versus West Ham. Jose Sarr in goal, Bueno, Kilman, Collins and Semedo make up the defence. João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Mateus Nunes, Podence, Cunha and Wang Chi-Chan as well for Wolves. Up front for West Ham, it's Bowen, Antonio and Lucas Paquetá. In the midfield, Pablo Fornals, Declan Rice and Souček. And at the back, it's Soufal, Ogbonna, still going strong, Allgard, Cresswell and Fabianski in goal. Let's do a couple of predictions. I know they're a big favourite here on DR Sports, so make sure that you send them in to production if you have the number. Do you have the number for production?
I do not.
Okay, we'll send it to me.
Okay.
So send me your predictions for those 4 games if you don't mind. Brighton, Liverpool play along at home as well. Everton, Southampton, Forest, Leicester and Wolves, West Ham. Get your predictions in. You did well on this one last time.
I did. And then the second time I managed to avoid the chilli as well. Do you remember we had to redo it because the camera was off? That was jokes.
Do you know what? Hopefully the Chili's are just no more because they were just very, very strong, weren't they? Big up to every single person here in the comments. Big up to Parisian London. Happy birthday, AGT. It's actually on Tuesday, but big up to you. Fuad, man, I'll be with... Oh, where's that comment just gone? Oh, there we go. Fuad, man, I'll be with Ginola's son tomorrow at the North London derby. What's your prediction? Big up to the panel and
if I'm being honest, tomorrow.
Brighton at home.
Yeah, boy.
And Happy New Year to the entire DR team. Thank you very much. We will do a big combined 11, by the way, later on. Tottenham Arsenal, we need to get into that. Nice. Cry more City fan, says Joseph Ryan. Obviously, we will react to that in the next minute or so as soon as these 3 o'clock games kick
Comments will be
off.
flooded with United fans, won't they?
They really will be. Big up to every single, so many great comments right now. Big up to MCFC Daps. He's got in touch with the super chat. Never foul his channel. Make sure you go over and subscribe. This second half performance so far is the Manchester City that hunt Arsenal down like the prey they are, not inverting fullbacks.
Oh, that was an old super
chat.
Is it? Yeah.
I think I might be.
That's not.
Get back to this now.
That didn't happen. That was at one.
That was a while back.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm back up to date now.
That was unfortunate.
Big up to him though.
I'm sure I've heard that before.
I'm sure you've heard that one out.
That's a shame.
Saeed, somewhere losing his mind right now, says Travarelli. And Fida says Gakpo hat-trick incoming. Let's hope so. As you are getting your predictions in, I'll remind you that the 3 o'clock games have now kicked off, and you will be with us the whole way. Every kick of the ball, we'll cover it for you here on DR Sports. Also, a couple of interesting European games going on in La Liga and the other leagues as well, which again we'll keep you up to date with. Arsenal now better win, says Amit, hoping for a big North London derby tomorrow. I feel bad for Klopp, he needs a win, says someone who I can't It's just squiggles, really. It's not really a name. Debbie saying clearly offside. I guess she's referring to that Bruno goal.
Very contentious goals that scored at Old Trafford. I mean, Fuad doesn't think so. I mean, the first goal, obviously, Rashford kind of running in line with the ball but not touching it for Bruno Fernandes. Rashford was offside.
He doesn't block anyone.
He doesn't block anyone.
He doesn't block a runner.
He doesn't block a runner. He doesn't.
He has to make the keeper think, though, doesn't he? The keeper, Ederson's thinking he's going to take a shot, which that kind of maybe plays a part.
Then it's Fernandes that comes last gasp and takes a shot.
That's the only thing I can kind of see in City's side.
Okay, yeah, that I didn't consider. So maybe, yeah, it does play a part on the keeper, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be harsh to rule that out. And in the second goal, I felt like he was perfectly in line. He does a great skins Aki on the wing Garnacho, and it's kind of a big moment for a young player as well.
I saw Fred was like head in hands, like, no, you should have passed it to me.
Yeah,
you're becoming a bit of a football man. Okay. You're not keeping the agenda.
Listen. I try agendas. You know, what I mean, we're necessary. Ten Hag, man. I believe there's something cooking there.
Well, listen,
cooking for you.
It ain't good for me, I know. But listen,
do you realise this is our top four is getting smaller and smaller?
You like him because he's Dutch, innit?
Bro, when Ten Hag was after his first year at Ajax, I've got tweets going like 2 years back saying, listen, if Spurs are a serious club, when Jose was here, I said, after Jose, we go get 10. Let me get the tweet up, man. I said, yo.
Let me open the floor now for this debate. Can Manchester United now win the Premier League? Or are they title contenders after such a massive win today? Let's start with Matisse. I mean, it's going to be a painful chat for you as well. And the tweet is there from 2021, is that?
27th of April 2021. I said, the mission statement this summer is simple. Mission 1, get Ten Hag. Mission 2, bring Lisandro Martinez and get Toby and give them Toby as a sweetener. Obviously a former player, give him a bit of experience. Mission 3, clear some deadwood. Mission 4, break the bank for Gravenberch. Okay. I was ahead of the curve, man.
You are, no, listen, you are on a few things.
That's why when I see what United are doing now, I'm like, I saw that. Yeah. And that should have been mine.
Well, listen, we've run a poll in the chat right now. Get involved with it if you can. If you're a United fan, you're obviously going to say that they're now involved in a title race. But let's discuss it and break it down even more. With the win today, they go a point behind Manchester City. We all know that Manchester City are title contenders. Arsenal out there at the front at the minute. But Matisse, can Manchester United, first of all, get themselves in a proper race as the months go on? But is there a chance they could win the Premier League?
I don't think they'll win it, but they have to be a contender going 1 point behind City because they look the most organised in terms of defensively. You know, out of all teams at the moment, defensively they've been really solid under Ten Hag. I do think that the lack of options up front in terms of obviously Weghorst has come in, Anthony's been pretty much not really performing recently. Martial, again, it's basically Rashford or bust up there. Yeah. But the foundation that they've built defensively and Casemiro and that initial, you know, back five of players, even when Maguire steps in, Wan-Bissaka steps in, it's not catastrophic like it used to be. You have to say that they're a contender. Going 1 point behind City is no joke. Beating Man City is no joke. It all happened very quickly in the space of a couple of minutes, but it's still got done. So the mentality is there to fight back. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they pull up to the Emirates away from home. That's going to be a big opportunity for them to reaffirm their title credentials. If they go and beat Arsenal at the Emirates, then
that's massive.
That's a different conversation. Then they are legitimately in a title race. But at the moment, 1 point behind, they're in it. They're in amongst it. So you have to say they're a contender. But it's very early in the season as well. There's still a long way to go. So I don't even believe in giving people the title tag this early. I think let the January window finish as well. See who recruits, who doesn't, and then let's get into February and see. But you know, at the moment they're in amongst it.
Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, I guess you could say they're contenders. I can't believe we're actually saying they are contenders after they got spanked by Brentford. Like, they've come a long way. And now, my friend Bertie, if you're watching, shout out Bertie, he had made a good point. Now, obviously, they're level with City now, right? They've got a robot up front. How have Man United gone from losing 4-0 to Brentford to being where they are now? It's nuts. But say they're contenders, it'd be hard to disagree looking at the table. But
Matisse agrees.
Yeah, Matisse agrees.
United prop.
It's killing him.
This Man United prop is gonna kill me.
Yes, I'm going to answer your question quickly. Yeah, before he chokes to death. Yeah, United contenders. Let's say that.
I'm not sure.
At what point has it changed for you? Because I was, as you know, clearly not a Manchester United fan. I've been trying to suppress the props, the reality, and it's creeping up on me week on week now. And they're getting points every week. It seems Rashford on fire.
Yeah.
Are they?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I feel like the table can sometimes paint a false picture. I think you look at the games as well. We're not actually officially at the halfway point yet. Do you know what I mean? It's 18 games into the season and January still to come. I think every week up until about April, I think every team's playing 2 games. Yeah. So I think there's still so much football to be played. They are in a good position. I think they are definitely making strides forward. But even for them, I think a title challenge is too premature, and I think if they even do get involved in it and crumble away, they'll be like, we weren't expected to be involved in it. So I'm not going to push them into that. I think Arsenal have put themselves in a position where it's almost undeniable. They've been leading the charge. They're playing the best football. They've got some of the best players in the league at the moment. So it's like, you can call yourself actual contenders. City are chasing you now, and especially with City dropping points. United, I'm still like, just getting into the picture. It's like saying basically 2 weeks ago, we could have said, sat here and said, Newcastle are contenders. It's like, now they're 4th, and
every week
we're a little bit further behind. Yeah.
So Man United's still in all 4 competitions as well.
Exactly.
The quadruple's still on.
So I think the goalposts are still going to be changing over the next couple of weeks. I always say when you get after March, that's when you start to get a real defined picture of.
I guess I'm forgetting as well. We've literally skipped 6 weeks of the season. Like maybe if it was any other season, it would be a bit easier to say. But we've skipped 6 or 7 games.
And that's all now going to be compressing. Like I think April, every team's got like 7 games to play or something like that.
Packed out.
Months like that, the table's going to flip.
City's big squad will benefit. They'll benefit from that.
One thing that we have to say with Man United though that does give them a slight bit of an advantage is the fact that they're improving. They're only on an upward trajectory under Ten Hag at the moment. They started the season getting slapped up to Brentford, slapped up to City.
And Brighton.
And Brighton. They wasn't really sure what they're going to do defensively. He's playing Eriksen, that double pivot today. He puts Fred in there. He's clearly learned. Eriksen's not tracking Foden's runs. We're not going with that again. So Man United, my worry is with them is that their trajectory is good, and with the weird season that we're in, and I can't trust Man City anymore. You know what I mean?
Could they sneak it?
Could they? I don't think they're going to win it.
Sneak in the race,
but
basically.
Yeah, but can they just be amongst?
Here's a question for you, though.
Crazy season that we're in. If there's any season where Manchester United are going to contend, it's going to be this because of the way that everybody's.
What happens if there's one Marcus Rashford injury?
Yeah, exactly. But we can say that for any team.
Then that's where Weghorst comes in, mate.
Yeah, I get that. And listen, that is what he's been brought in.
That's what I wanted to ask you now. I mean, we're talking about United now looking at potentially being contenders, but they are about to add in Weghorst to the mix. I mean, he scores goals. Wherever he's been, he scores goals. So is he the man that can maybe push them to that next level just a little bit, or are we maybe a bit premature with that chat?
You can tell they've been missing that big striker. I also do feel like the media, maybe Twitter, has kind of brainwashed us to thinking that he's going to be this unbelievable player because of 10 minutes he had in the World Cup. That's the thing. Will he do it at Man United? I think the media and the hype is kind of might get the better of him at Man United. It might be too much pressure for him.
I think the thing is he's shown himself to be a proven goal scorer in other leagues. I think in the Bundesliga, even Turkish league, I think he's played about 12 games, got 5 goals, 4 assists or something like that. So he's definitely a handful. And I think if you look at Ten Hag's playing style when he had Haller at Ajax, big physical target man, but you're not going to be your prototype. We're going to launch balls into you. You're going to be my first presser, and I think United have lacked that when they've had Ronaldo. They wanted someone to press. He's not that. You've got that in Rashford, but then Rashford can still play left out wide. I think he brings something different. Is he going to give you goals and impact? I don't know, but is he something different to what they normally have? Can he make himself useful in the Ten Hag system, which is what they actually have now, rather than relying on individuals like in previous years? I feel like this year they've actually got a system and an ethos, and that could benefit him. But if they lose Rashford and it's just Weghorst, they are not going to survive on that. I'll tell you now. No. They're living off crumbs, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's the thing, is I look at United and I'm like, you're one Rashford injury away from just being back to meh.
Yeah. Even a Casemiro injury away from
Yeah.
That would be very, very
And
big.
the thing is, with them being in the Europa League as well, Europa League is one of those weird competitions where you're in it and you're like, we could play the second team. But as you progress each round, you're like, hey, we might win this, you know. And looking at United, they want silverware. Let's be honest. They're excited about a Carabao Cup. They're excited about Europa League. Why? Because they just want to breed that winning culture as well. Yeah. And you beat a team like Barca, all of a sudden now you're thinking, you know what? We've knocked one of the big boys out. Let's go out and actually win this. And if they're still playing full-fledged sides midweek in Europe, it's going to catch up at some point, man.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's a great point. They're kind of hunt for a trophy, and their willingness to not, they're not going to just let that go, and they're not just going to rest people in that competition and bow out for whatever this Premier League season could be. They genuinely need and want a trophy. Like you said, the excitement around the Carabao Cup, this weren't around when City was winning it.
Yeah.
It was getting called the Mickey Mouse Cup and, getting disrespected. Now Carabao Cup is getting some sort of prestige. It's getting a real name behind it. So
Is that because Man United fans are in it?
Yeah, exactly. They're hyping it up. 100%.
Well, listen, they're playing well. You can't deny that. It's looking good if you're a United fan right now. I'll tell you what here, Liverpool very much under attack, and it could be 1-0 to Brighton here. And it's well defended from Trent. A bad start for Liverpool, Ben.
Yeah. We've had. I think we saw one cleared off the line a couple minutes ago, and then a header. Alisson saved it. Yeah, Liverpool under the cosh a bit here at the Amex.
Big time.
It's looking
Absolutely.
good.
0-0 and all the other 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. I'm sure the goals will come flying in very shortly. But Neo L in the comments, Brighton applying the pressure.
Yes, sir.
What the hell is Liverpool doing? Says, was lost but now I'm found. Well, what happens is the midfielders getting overrun as usual. And again, Brighton could have scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes here. That's probably a foul, is it not, referee? No.
I don't think I've seen Liverpool fans go into a game so devoid of confidence. Like every single Liverpool
I think we'll lose this game.
Yeah, every single Liverpool fan seems to be predicting a draw or defeat.
I know I said otherwise on the COP TV yesterday, but you know.
But now you're watching it.
But now I'm here watching it.
You got to lose it for your people, innit?
You're saying it on your own channel, saying you're going to lose,
Yeah. And you guys predicted a win. Well, Maz did, anyway.
Maz did. I said 2-2. Yeah.
Absolutely. Another unfortunate L tomorrow for Potter, says Raphael in the comments. We will speak about that as well. Of course, if you're up for it. if you're a fan of Potter or not, I'm not too sure at the minute.
I think we deserve it.
I deserve it.
Let's talk about Man City then. Obviously, we can eulogise United now winning 12 games out of 18, 4 losses. But this is now City's 3rd loss. 2 wins in 5 games for Manchester City. What is wrong with them at the moment, if anything? It's clearly not clicking.
They can't play Chelsea every week, clearly.
Well, clearly. But at the same time, if you're a Man City fan right now, and if you are, let us know in the comments how you feel about the title race now. Are they still the favourites, though, in a weird way?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's really easy to say after the recent results, but we all know the firepower that City have, and like I said, they do have the robot up front who can score goals for fun. I'm sure they'll be back. Yeah, there's a long way to go in the season. I think they'll be back, and but to say they're favourites, I don't know. That will be
only because it's 4 out of the last 5. They could make it 3 in a row.
It'll be harsh on Arsenal, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably say City is still the favourites. They'll come back, surely.
Maybe we do a poll on that in the chat as
second
well.
Season, they always come good second season.
I think with City, one thing you can never do is rule them out. No. I think they've shown that time and time again. Maybe even they've been in this similar position in previous season, and then second half just gone on 16 wins in a row, undefeated at home or whatever it is. They're so capable of that. And the thing is, it's where you might look at their squad depth and think maybe they don't have that same squad depth that they had previous years. They do have Haaland, as you mentioned there, but I think I think that's been the biggest difference this year. It's going forward, you feel like the system's kind of more trying to fit Haaland in, and rightly so, to be fair. He's a world-class player, do you know what I mean? But that adaptation is a little bit like you guys with Darwin. You're moving away from that false line where it's a whole different intricate build-up, more 1-2s, more triangles, more overloads on either side of the pitch. They're not doing that anymore. It's kind of more, can we find Haaland? But then I also find defensively, where City used to press from the front and be killer. Throughout that game, we were watching it, and I was like, Haaland's press is actually kind of a few jogs, and
he doesn't press.
He doesn't
Whereas
really
someone
press.
like Val Weghorst, when he was in the Premier League last season, had the most presses per 90,
which is perfect
48
for Ten Hag's
presses
system.
in 90 minutes. That's
crazy.
one every 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
That's what I was trying to say on the last show. Like, don't look at Weghorst at Burnley and assume that's all he is. Because in the Bundesliga, he is pressing. He is a runner in behind. It's like he has the size and the height and the headers, and we saw against Argentina in the World Cup, he can be a nuisance, and they brought all the tall people tax and started throwing the ball into the box. But Weghorst can actually, like, technically he's not a bad player. So I get the signing from Man United. It's not the glitz and glamour. It's not a replacement for Rashford, but it's a plan B off the bench if you need a goal in the last 10 minutes. It's a Fellaini, maybe.
Yeah. Igalo 2.0.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. I don't think it's a bad move from them.
You mentioned earlier about City's depth. I mean, they literally sold probably arguably definitely one depth player, but one starter to Arsenal in Zinchenko and Jesus. Is those sales going to come back to bite them at the end of the season?
100%. And I think
if they aren't already,
when they sold them in the summer, I genuinely thought, we're only selling them to little bro. It's like Arteta's little bro, Arsenal's little bro. You know, we take players from them and we can give them a couple. And they thought
Arteta
top 4 race
became the big brother.
Yeah, they thought, top 4 race.
Now.
They did not expect them to take those two and turn into what they've turned into. So I think there's definitely regret on that end. But then also, with Sterling, Jesus and Zinchenko, I felt like every time with City, what you loved was, okay, Bernardo, you're not on form, I'll take you out, I'll put Sterling in. There was no guaranteed starters in Pep's system. It was just who was performing. And the beauty of that was you had that much quality. Now you look at it, it's like, you take away the left back, Cancelo, and it's like Sergio Gomez. Is it a like for like? Zinchenko never gave you less than a 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Same with Jesus. Jesus, the beauty was he never scored and still contributed to games. Sterling completely changed the game, became like a final ball killer on the back post. And now they're missing all of those, what I would say, intangibles, if you like.
The bankers.
Yeah. And you can see the difference now in their team. You can see the difference in their team, man.
But like we were saying earlier, like if Man United lose Rashford or Casemiro, we still haven't seen the potential of City losing Haaland. Then that will be interesting to see how they deal with that.
Could they get better? I ask.
Do you reckon?
Could they almost go back to basics of, hey, we were without Haaland last year, and the bulk of that squad was there. They can maybe get back to that intricate football. Not to say that we're better without him, but they understand that system more. So could it maybe?
We're seeing what they're like with Julian Alvarez playing. They seem to still do well with him on the pitch. So. Yeah.
Very, very good player.
Performance against us with Haaland and without was night and day. They were much better without Haaland and KDB as well. No De Bruyne against us in the cup game.
Oh, yeah.
And they smoked us. So when they, I think they're becoming a little bit predictable. But it's understandable because he is an absolute machine and he gets goals. So you are going to play into him. You're not going to avoid him. Doesn't make sense. So it's a little bit of a change.
Catch-22, bruv. Yeah.
Change of approach from City. Yeah.
Big up to the People Sideburns in the chat who's saying AGT looks like a wrestler / barista.
Which wrestler are we talking?
Which barista are you talking? That's what I want to know. Costa, Cafe Nero. I mean, I don't know where that's. It's very different.
I can picture you in Costa
over
Cafe Nero. I can picture you in Costa over Cafe Nero.
Yeah, probably. Just about.
You know what? He would be one of those, independent cafes. Right. He wouldn't be one of them chains. I can tell. Yeah, like
I don't know. I don't
artisan cafe.
I've never had coffee in my life.
Swear.
Never had a.
You're missing out, bro, man.
It's like Michael Owen. He's never had a cup of tea, is he? Isn't that right? Or something like that. Yeah. He said he's never had a cup of tea.
I don't watch movies because they're not real life. So I don't watch films because obviously they're fake. So it's great, really. I just watch highlights of my own career.
Michael Owen, I'll never forget. Nowadays, I see throwback clips of not Zero to Hero. What was the old Umbro challenge thing? Him just packing in 10-year-olds for fun.
Right, yeah.
Well done, he's 13.
This guy was such a savage. Like, he's 18, bullying these kids. Like hammering it hard.
Do you know what the ironic thing about that video series was? They filmed that in an empty Stoke ground.
Yeah.
Where did he finish his career?
Stoke.
There you go.
No.
Wow.
No.
It all comes back in circles, Michael. That's called karma.
They actually met up, didn't they? I think the goalkeeping coach, I've forgotten his name, but he was actually a legendary keeper.
Neville Southall.
Yeah, Neville Southall. And then the 13-year-old.
They linked up again.
Yeah, they linked up
after like
a few months
20
ago.
years, bro.
Yeah.
The ginger keeper and the keeper coach linked up.
Yeah, blew up.
Now they just need
Owen. Even Neville Southall.
They said, listen, 400 quid, get down for half an hour, we'll do some drills. Yeah, I'll take that, no worries. Absolutely need the money.
Forget about the Corpusito.
Yeah, man, it's great, really. Yellow card for Joel Matip. for a foul on Mitoma, who's running Liverpool ragged right now on that left-hand side. He's already got the better of Trent and now Matip as well. And Brighton look like they're in here and it's cleared. And Liverpool have not strung 5 passes together so far. Absolutely abysmal start from the Reds, and it's a good strike from McAllister that's blocked. Big up 2 sheets of metal with the super chat saying, I think it'll be a draw in the North London derby, 1-1, and Matisse looks like he reads math books on an Ibiza nightclub. Have you ever done that before?
In and out, yeah.
No.
You been to Ibiza?
No.
Missing out.
Good place of dreams, mate. Peter Cech seems to this first goal should not count from Jacob. I'm not too sure. Peter Cech's actually a nice.
Bruno Fernandes goal.
Oh, sure. He's actually a nice hockey goalie now, isn't he?
Well, he was. Yeah. I don't know if is he now.
No, he was he was playing a couple of days ago. I saw some clips. Right. He was loving it.
Yeah.
Just like Loris Karius, he's a bodybuilder now, isn't he?
Instagram model, whatever you want to call it.
Wasn't he trying for WWE at one point?
Torres was bodybuilder.
Yeah, Loris
Karius.
Yeah, I'm sure he was flirting with the WWE at one point. When he got like really swole,
he'd probably get more game time for WWE
more minutes
than
in the ring.
At Newcastle. Is this a contentious decision here, lads?
Oh hell no!
No,
he dropped it. He dropped it
in
time. Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was bang on the line.
What is the line counts as the boxer, isn't it? It's the entry.
It does.
Yeah. So I think he's done it in time.
Is Alisson coming off?
How do you rate Sanchez?
Oh, it's a tricky one.
I love that.
Is this a foul, Ben?
Go on.
It's a tricky one.
Nah,
it's a coming together.
He's put a little shoulder in Alisson's head.
Get up.
Shout out Levi Colwill. Yeah, Sanchez, that's a tricky one. I might get pelters from the Brighton fans, but yeah, he can be a bit flappy from corners when balls are coming in. I feel that when we played Arsenal, it was 4-2. That flattered them. I think that there were 2 mistakes from Sanchez. Martinelli's one where it just went under Sanchez somehow.
Yeah.
And then I think Nketiah's goal just parried it into the floor, and then Nketiah had an easy tap-in. Could have been a 2-2 game.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3-2 Brighton if Mitoma stood, but that's a conversation for another day, I guess. But
and that's
he has mistakes in him. He does.
He's one of those keepers that I always find is kind of almost linked with big clubs, but I'm always like, is he of that caliber? Because whenever I see him, I do what you just said there, see the odd mistake here and there, and it's a bit like, personally, I like Meslier at Leeds. I think he's like a great shot stopper, good reflexes, but similarly, he's got a mistake in him. A lot of Spurs fans seem to be saying like, oh, after Lloris, I'll take Sanchez or Raya at Brentford. I've said Meslier, but it's interesting to know what Brighton fans think, because I thought the same thing as well.
Meslier. I'm not a fan of Meslier at all. I think that he has a lot more mistakes in him. Maybe because he's got a poor defence in front of him.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think with Meslier, that's the kind of excuse, if you like, I've given him, where I'm like, you've played Bielsa ball pretty much. You've had a defence 60 yards in front of you playing a high line, and then the guys in front of you are not even that great. Dallas and Cooper, and don't get me wrong, they've done a job, but they're really championship level guys who are playing above their level in the Premier League, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Meslier, I said he's raw, and the thing is, he's 21
as well.
He's 21, 22.
Yeah,
I look at Lloris, and I'm like, he gives me a lot of him early on. He was a bit lightweight, seemed like he had a bit of mistake in him, but
so
he had a bit of defense at Lyon.
Very lightweight early.
Similarly as well. So I think and you find those guys are usually the good shot stoppers, the skinny guys. Yeah,
that's
Kepa. If you look at him as well, another skinny one who's a good shot stopper. Well, I don't know about shot stopping.
He could barely catch the ball, let alone stop.
Try to give me no reaction. But Sanchez is in that kind of weird limbo zone. I find Sanchez, Raya, and Meslier are kind of the 3 I'm always looking at. Like
Spania.
Which one are you?
Tough job Inter being in goal. Like, and it'll be harsh for me not to say all the amazing things he does for us. Like, he is a brilliant keeper. He saved us from the Matty Ryan era. If you don't remember him, he's like a 5'11" goalkeeper.
Did you ever rate him?
At the start, yeah. And then we loaned him to Arsenal because Sanchez came in. But yeah, he was a small keeper. Had fairly short arms for a small keeper as well. Jordan Pickford, kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
That's where Sanchez came in. I think Brighton fans had enough of him. Potter clearly had enough of him. And then, this Sanchez, we was on loan at Rochdale, on loan at Forest Green, and then all of a sudden started for us in the Premier League. And then, it's just...
That's what I thought. I was like, where the hell did he come out from?
Where have any of our players come from? No one knows.
Bro,
spawn them.
It's true.
Please, as a Brighton fan, can you explain this myth to us? Because... as a Spurs, I feel like you have like an FM generator in the background that just says, default player generate, boom, an 18-year-old pops up from Venezuela. And he's just a world.
We had another one arrive yesterday. We signed him in the summer, but he was on loan at Rosario. So is it Rosario Central in Argentina?
Yeah.
Managed by Carlos Tevez. Tevez says he's the next Messi, so that's all I can say on him.
Facundo
Buonanotte.
That's what they said about Tevez.
Yeah, and I spoke to you, I think, about Adingra on your channel.
Yeah,
he's the next guy. He's on loan at USG in Belgium, where Matoma was last season. He's banging in goals just like Matoma. So when Trossard goes, we've got another guy coming in. When Matoma eventually goes, we've got another guy coming in.
Do you remember last show, Matisse, we were talking about like big clubs now go straight to the source, like Kai Havertz, they'll go and pay that extra big bit of money just to, we don't want to pay. Cut out the middleman type of thing. Brighton are doing the before the source. Like, that is next level scouting, honestly. It's
we had
incredible.
I want to say maybe like a season and a half maybe before we finally got
a break.
No, what am I talking about? He got a when you could play from abroad.
Work permit.
Work permit. It took ages to get a work permit. Spent a season on loan at Boca Juniors. Then we finally got to play him, and then had a little bit of a shaky start. And then he's obviously come into his own now. But yeah, it takes time. And Caicedo, even he was on loan at bottom of the league Bereshut this time last year. And then we gave him a few games in the Premier League when we recalled him, and now look where he is.
That's mad.
It's nuts. And United were the ones that nearly signed him, but didn't think he was good enough. So we thought, we'll.
How much would
5.5 million, wasn't it?
Right now.
Caicedo.
In your opinion? Because I'll have a word after with the boards.
Mate, we sold Cucurella for 62 million. Caicedo's got such a long career ahead of him.
21.
Young player. Yeah.
21.
I want to say 65 to 70 mil maybe. 70 mil.
What a turnaround that would be. What an amazing bit of business that would be. We're watching Brighton versus Liverpool. The other games are still 0-0, unfortunately. But we're 25 minutes into this one, Ben. No Graham Potter, obviously De Zerbi now at the helm. Is he still playing the football that Brighton fans have been used to for the last 2 years? Because on the Klopp TV yesterday, you said it's more of a system thing, less a personnel thing.
Yeah, well, I think so. Like when we lose players, I think the point you were making, when we lose players, we'll bring someone in and they'll work perfectly, and the team will still continue to progress and get better because they play in like roles and things like that. I think we've gone up a level, which I never expected under De Zerbi. The last time I was on this show, it was his first game against Liverpool, and we drew 3-3.
Yeah.
Never thought we would have progressed this much. We're so much more attacking. We score so many more goals. He's made Solly March a goal scorer. He's made Solly March an assister, which he wasn't really. He just used to work hard, and that was about it. He's getting new things out of new players, and we've gone up a level under him. And thank you for taking away from us, Matisse.
My dealings with Brighton is too much these days.
Bro,
really, too much.
You lot wanted to become Brighton.
Bro, we are going to become
imposter syndrome.
Hilarious.
The amount of people we've taken from Brighton, and I'm seeing us linked to a Caicedo, I'm just like, listen, at some point now...
You've not learnt.
Yeah, at some point now,
it's like do you remember Southampton once upon a time when they were your feeder club?
Yeah.
And you lot were just like, hey, everything you guys are, can we just move that over here?
But then what they've done is the next level. We've taken the players, they've taken staff.
Bro,
as well.
they're taking kitchen staff. They're taking the onion peelers,
drivers.
Because the staff is cheap.
Though.
You took Mane, you took
Lovren,
Lambert, Van Dijk,
Klein.
Van Dijk.
6-7 players, bro.
But we gave them in exchange for that around 90 million and bought them a new training ground. So, I'm sure they're not that mad when they step out onto that nice.
They might be. They're bottom of the league right now.
Well, they just beat City, so you never know. Canelo Alvarez now working for DR Sports, says Michael Hunt.
Take that.
Oh, is that a foul?
I'm guessing
that's Ben, by the way. Yeah.
We're not going to do his accent. Actually, I'll probably get cancelled for that.
Give me that wobble.
Do you know what I'm sorry, bro? I've been walking around my house randomly saying that.
Give me that wobble.
I look at my missus like, come in a wall. You know
what, yeah? The way Messi actually said that to Weghorst, big up Weghorst for holding that salute.
Hey, man.
But the way he said it, his technical Spanish is awful, Messi,
Yeah. Really?
Like the way he actually uses the lexicon, he barely. It's almost like. If you were a Spanish person trying to learn English, you would watch a presenter and they would give you the almost textbook pronouns, verbs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
With Messi, he speaks not only in slang, but he almost has like a Rooney-esque, do you know, accent within Rosario, like where he's from.
Okay, right.
So his Spanish is like shortened. Thick.
It's thick.
Mid. It's very mid.
Yeah.
Well,
Remember when Beckham used to do
Argentinian fans say
interviews?
that he's like a bit of an outsider, isn't he? Because he's spent so much time not in their country. They feel like he is a bit of an outsider for their team.
I mean,
saying
Matoma's through.
Mitoma, very good chance for Brighton. Saying "Give me that wowo" is brilliant. I love it, to be fair.
Oh, spam the chat with that, man.
Give me that wowo. Liverpool have lost their Z scare factor. Sod off Chelsea and injuries. There you go. Alex watched Narcos once and thinks he's Spanish. Big up to AM. I actually speak fluent Spanish, so big up to you, my bro.
What was he actually saying in Spanish? What does that actually mean?
It means, what are you looking at, donkey, or...
Really?
Fool?
Bro,
What are you looking at?
so cold. It is so cold.
He actually called Milner Borro once, which is the literal translation for donkey when he nutmegged him at the Bernabeu.
Bro, I've always said...
Hasta luego, Borro.
My favourite...
Give me that wowo.
I would have loved to hear what Messi said. I've always said...
But now James Milner's learned, so he's learning Spanish right now.
Yeah, I remember.
So he
Boring
remembered
James
what
Milner.
Messi said, looked it up.
In case he comes up against him again.
He's been called worse.
donkey by Messi.
Yeah, it's not
That's
the
probably
best.
why he then hit the
But
gym
listen,
just to like make him feel.
You know what?
He
Yeah,
called a donkey by someone.
The narrative around Messi, in comparison to Ronaldo, is that Messi is such a much nicer, quieter, calmer, relaxed guy. This man's out here calling people
You hate
donkeys and
Messi,
shit.
bro.
I'm not-
You hate
They
Messi.
say
this guy
I hate
hates
Messi. I've never bought it though. I've never bought the nice guy. Anybody who's
Yeah,
too
nice
clean, too quiet like that, I'm like, it's a shady motherfucker behind closed doors, man. I'm telling you. And guess what? I say to be a champion, to be
you have to
great,
have-
you have to have some form of ego or some form of, I don't know, chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And he might be the quiet guy, but behind closed doors, I know he's a killer. Even like when Pep says in 09, Zlatan is at the club. I've just spent 50 million plus Eto'o, which at the time, Eto'o is a treble winning striker. It's an absurd deal. But Messi texts him after 9 games into the season and says, "Oh, are you playing Zlatan number 9? Yeah, I'm out in January." That tells me this guy has a huge ego. He's saying, "Get your big marquee signing out of the fucking middle and put me there." How do you think the false 9 started? It started from a text on the bus. Go read Zlatan's book if you don't believe me.
Okay.
Bro, I'm telling you, people
That's what
believe
AJ
Messi's
Tracy's song's about. It's about that very moment.
to the media, I fully believe it. He's a nice guy, he's a humble guy, and I believe it. He is. But he does have that dog in him as well. And I'll be real with you, he showed me that at the World Cup.
Yeah.
World Cup was when I was
World
like, you're acting different. And he realized it's my last run.
I'm done.
Fuck this nice guy shit.
Yeah.
I'm letting you people know who the king is.
Yeah.
I'm dunking on everyone and I'm doing it unapologetically. Why do you think after he crashed out Holland, Van Gaal,
That picture
Davids,
of him
where are you?
with the ears.
Come here.
Yeah.
You gonna hear me now. You
Yeah.
gonna feel me. Where goes? Don't try to dap me up. Bounce, donkey. I respected it. I was like, you know what? This is all I've been waiting for. The Messi villain arc. I said so. You know
All
what
those
I mean?
nice guys.
Hey,
You know,
nice
like Roy
guys.
Keane. People think you're a nice guy.
I'm telling you.
He was finishing first as a nice guy quite a lot. But
Listen,
he was like,
not at the World Cup.
Not at the World
Not
Cup.
at the, he said,
Yeah.
"Aye, nice guys don't finish first in this one."
They don't.
Yeah.
Big up to Maximum Potential, spam in the comments with "Give me that wowo."
Hey, big up.
Anda pasha wowo. AGT gets stuffed. United. Thank you, Mohammed. You're a nice man. Big up to you.
Speaking of getting stuff,
So violent.
this could go many ways. The Henderson absolutely
Henderson,
clattered
yellow
into
card.
Caicedo, his
Yellow
potential
card.
future teammate. Gave him a big old.
That nice guy stuff.
He don't want no Caicedo as a teammate. He's been doing the Jude Bellingham pitch for about 3 months now. He did the World Cup, pre-press run tour. Bruv, that was creepy.
Give me that wowo.
I'm never gonna be able to sort that one
Good
out.
thing Robertson humbled Messi, says the People's Sideburns. Do you remember that clip?
I was going to say that earlier.
Remember
I was
that
like,
one?
that is the one time I wish we could hear what Messi was saying.
Well,
Because
Robertson ran away so quickly.
Oh,
I don't
mate.
think he heard what he said.
Messi's face.
He got him back though. 2 minutes later, do you remember?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
gave him
yeah,
a little
slapped
clip.
it.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I don't mind it in the slightest.
Two questions, Ben. Right? Obviously, relating to Caicedo, is he a player, in your opinion, that's worth overpaying for? You see how at the moment in this market, right, for young players, for potential, we were speaking about in the last show, people are paying 100 million for Mudryk, 100 million for Anthony, or 100 million euros, etc., etc. Is he worth overpaying for? Do you think he's actually going to be able to prove that valuation that you guys are putting on him, or
Is it a Basuma?
is it a Basuma? Are you trying to do a madness?
lemon, mate.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know. We didn't know.
They gassed us up for 3 years. I was like, I never bought the Basuma stocks. And then when he finally came, I was like, alright, Let me see what he's cooking. Bruv, it's a lemon.
Lemon business.
I got all the lemon.
But again, it goes back to the system thing. He's really good in our team, and he's really good in his role in our team. Basuma, not so much for Spurs, obviously. But I imagine if he came back into our team, he'll be the exact same Basuma that he was.
So what you're saying, we need to just buy the whole club?
Well, looking, yeah, he looked at it way.
He said, "You want
Just
more?
leave us alone. Buy your system.
Just support
Can I
us.
buy
Just
that?
support Brighton.
You're going to buy your stadium for away games. Dressing room, everything.
But no, I do. That's the thing. It's hard to say now. Ben White's done well, hasn't he? Since moving on.
Yeah,
Dan
yeah.
Burn, I suppose he's not like a big sign of Newcastle, but he's done well.
He's good.
Hasn't he? Caicedo. It'll be harsh to say no. I do believe that he will go on to be a very, very good midfielder, no matter what team he goes to.
Because we've been linked to him as well as obviously you guys, and I kind of
Yeah, but do your... you know what I mean?
what.
He's hard. We're looking at him.
Yeah, we're looking at
Fighting over Brighton players, it's mad for me, by the way. This is crazy.
Chelsea are just-
Bro, this is what the world has become.
Just give me the money. So I would overpay. I would overpay for Enzo Fernandez because I do think he's got that pass
You
through.
overpay for everyone.
But I wouldn't. But I don't think, no. Benfica.
They paid
check the
10 mil for me.
metrics.
Hey, you
Check the
see?
metrics. I've been speaking to Benfica fans. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I wouldn't. I don't think I'd overpay for Caicedo because I do think you can get other players like him. Whereas I think Enzo Fernandez is a little bit more unique for me, creativity-wise, and obviously chipping in with goals. But also, how's Levi Colwill doing? How's my boy?
I like him.
Yeah.
And he will be a Brighton player permanently in the summer. There's no way he's going to take 6th spot in the Chelsea team.
Facts.
No chance.
Yeah.
No.
he's
What do you mean?
better than
What do you mean?
Look at the list of defenders you've got and the defenders you've bought. Where does
You want Koulibaly?
well, okay, let's say Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, got
You can have Koulibaly.
Badiashile.
Yeah, I didn't want to pronounce
Yeah.
his name. Then you've got Levi Colwill. Like, where is he on that list for you?
He's at least 5th.
Listen, I got stocks in Levi. I
Yeah, I
said
know.
last summer.
He's you lot's new gen Ruben.
New gen Ruben.
Yeah, because Ruben stocks. Chelsea fans still believe there's a player in Ruben
They're both
right
light-skinned.
now.
They're both light-skinned.
Yeah, 100%. They fancy him. They won't admit it.
Love
but,
Ireland
you know.
boys.
No, for me, I got stocks in Levi Colwill. Like, I would prefer to overpay for Cucurella like we did than to let you have Levi Colwill on a permanent, which is what you guys wanted in the first
Yeah.
place. Because I do believe that, we might have bought Badiashile in and we might have Koulibaly's looking awful, but for me, Levi Colwill has got high potential. So even though Badiashale's come in, I wouldn't be surprised if Levi Colwill dunks on him. Let's see. It's going to be an interesting battle.
Also, interesting one because obviously Potter was a Brighton manager when this deal was happening, and he was thinking, I'm going to get to use Levi Colwill. So Potter must have some interest in Levi Colwill, right?
Yeah.
Because when he was the Brighton manager, he wanted him at the club, even if it
Exactly.
was just a loan.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there may be some interest there from the gaffer, not just Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
Still no goals in the Premier League on the Saturday football show. What a disgrace. 0-0 Brighton, Liverpool, Everton, Southampton, Forest, Leicester and Wolves, West Ham as well. Brighton very much on top in this game. Big up to Pundit in the chat. AGT in the mud, getting balled off the park. Just a matter of time before this Brighton goal. Thank you. Big up AGT, Matisse, Fuad and Ben. Thoughts on Newcastle potentially making it to Wembley for the Carabao Cup. I would give up top 4 if it means that Newcastle win it. Your
Please.
thoughts?
Deserved.
Trophy over top 4 for me.
Win that cup. Newcastle.
I would take that.
Today, I feel
I would
I
let
am
them
a
win
Geordie. I am a Geordie today. Win that cup. I am.
Let's hear your accent then. Let's go.
No.
Wait,
See Matty Renton enough.
No, I don't remember. I haven't
Oh,
seen
wait,
him in a
man,
few
I
months.
can't even believe it. We're in the Carabao Cup.
Eastman, you better let us win that one.
Santiago Munez.
I really want them. I really like.
Almiron's world class, isn't it? You're good. You're good. I'm getting
Needs work, but it's
I'm
for
polishing.
sure.
Yeah, a bit of polishing, yeah.
Polish
A little bit of dusting. I want them to win it, man. I'm so happy for them that
on.
they're going to be in a cup final. It's been so long.
Do you feel though
Yeah.
that if you want them to win it now,
Yeah,
fast
they're gonna
forward
be
3
problems in-
years,
yeah, sure,
we're not
for
going to
sure.
be saying that then. This is their cute stage, still, right?
Bro, this is what I'm
I
saying.
hear it.
Please stop putting water on the gremlin. This is what we're doing right
This is
now.
their Bellamy, Adebayor, Shaw, Phillips age. Remember
No,
that
but-
one? Yeah.
Wayne Bridge.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is with Newcastle? Yeah, it's different to Man City because their fan base deserves.
Yeah.
Their fan base
I hear that.
deserves. They've got a huge fan base. Every single time.
Goal for Everton. The first goal of the day. It's at Goodison Park.
Onana.
And Onana. What's his name?
name?
It's Onana.
1-0.
Amadou Onana scores the goal. Massive goal that for Everton. Is this the final thing that can happen to change their season around? I don't know, because it's still not full time yet. They have to win the game, of course, but they go maybe into half time 1-0 up. What a massive result that could be for Everton. Speaking of Everton, I wanted to ask you a few questions on the news today that the directors were advised not to attend the game today at Goodison Park. Remember, this is a home game, in fear for their own safety. And there was also reports of the director of Everton, who's a lady, was, and I quote, headlocked in a car park by a fan.
In a headlock?
In a headlock.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Like, what is going on at Everton Football Club for that to happen, by the way? Where you're getting closer to the director and putting a woman in a headlock.
WWE.
In a car park.
Don't let me catch Levy. If that's what we're doing, don't let me catch Levy.
Off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I've got inside source at Everton. I said a friend of a friend. He said that I think the board mentioned to the staff that they have no plans or any aspirations in the transfer market. They just hope that other clubs are nice to them, was the quote from the board.
Other clubs are nice to them?
Yeah, in the transfer markets, if like to be nice to them and give them a sweet deal or cheap deal.
What we did with Dele Alli, basically. Have him on a free and then bonuses later give us back. It's like, and I feel like that's what's cost them over the last 5 or 6 years. Such bad recruitment. I feel like since the whole Roberto Martinez phase,
there is a penalty to Brighton. There is a penalty to Brighton.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Please.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Is this the moment here that we see the penalty given? I'm preparing for the worst.
I'm trying to think who our taker will
be. For the worst.
McAllister?
Yes.
Give it to
that's
him.
A very good shout.
World
That's
Cup.
A very good shout.
McAllister.
Come on.
Medal, yeah.
It was Pascal Gross.
Someone needs to dash him in the middle just for the celebration.
Years ago, he buried one.
Oh, VAR review on the penalty.
Okay.
So we will let you know as soon as we know what's happening here.
What are we thinking?
At the Amex.
Goal kick
it
here.
Could potentially be ruled out. It could potentially be given. Who knows?
Yeah, back to the Newcastle thing as well. I just don't sense that same beef. I think their fan base is just like it's the whole city. Do you know what I mean? And it's just every time Sky pans to a camera of them in the away section, the tops off. I'm just like, I'm happy for you, man. Like, just enjoy your life. Do you know what I mean? Do your thing.
Champions League
points to the spot.
Yeah, can you imagine them at Wembley? All those Geordies, 35k of them in that Wembley. It's going to be
London
nuts.
is not ready for Geordies coming down. I want to see that. Trust me.
I'm good. I'm good.
But listen, guys, we've got to go back to the Amex. We've just seen the incident that was the penalty given. They still haven't fully decided, but he's offside. So he's offside. This surely won't count.
Yeah.
As a penalty, he goes round Alisson.
That is
there contact? Let's have a look at the replay. Solly March goes round Alisson.
Look at this flapping.
Oh, that's not a penalty. There's no way that's a penalty. There is no way that's a penalty.
Wouldn't expect that from Solly, but in the moment he tried anything to get
the game is the game, man.
He's almost just stood on Alisson's hand.
He's left his foot in and he's offside, so I'm struggling here to see.
If they give that, then that'll be banter.
That is actually like bad refereeing.
Yeah, he's offside, isn't he? Surely.
You cannot give that.
Surely. I'm not being funny. I'm going to go mad up in here if this is a penalty.
I don't. Yeah, there can't be. If they give that, then
first of all, it's offside. Second of all, it's not a penalty. It's a dive. Book Solly March. Do you agree?
He was offside though.
So
give me that Wowo.
So he doesn't technically need to be booked.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Baila ahora. No penalty. No penalty.
Will this give Liverpool a kick up the backside though? Will it
only
wake them up a bit?
3.5 minutes till half time. Liverpool, I have barely seen them, like I said earlier, string 5 passes together. There was a shot well over from Salah. Alisson kind of rounding up the troops here to give them a bit of oomph before half time. But it's been all Brighton, not Markle Brighton. Yeah. But it has been all Brighton so far.
As we're going into added time, I've got a question. Let me clear my throat first. Obviously, during the World Cup, and I don't know if you've spoken about this on the show already, they had that mad added time where they took into account.
There, mate.
Yeah.
It made me get home a lot later than I thought I would do.
But would you like to see that in the Premier League? I'll ask you, Matisse, because Chelsea need every minute they can get to get a win.
No, we don't.
Would you like to see that? Would you like to see that? That rule in the Premier League?
No. The less minutes I have to watch of Chelsea at home, the better. There was plenty of added on time in the game against Fulham, and I wanted it to end. I said, blow the whistle and give them their 3 points. The more time that we play, it does not equal more opportunity to win. In fact, it just equals more pain,
frustration,
suffering,
more pain.
Yeah.
So Man
good
City,
question, though.
Stamford Bridge, last 15 minutes, I knew he wasn't going to score. So let's get
When
this moving.
we lost Aston Villa 2-1, only 54 minutes of the match was actually played. The rest of it was time wasting and all that sort of thing.
This is my thing. I feel like
also fans spending money to see 90 minutes of football. They're not spending it to
Facts.
see 54 minutes.
Well,
from
yeah.
a fan's perspective, I don't think there's any loss. You see more games,
totally
you see
agree.
more football,
More bang for your buck.
more drama, and I always feel like in the World Cup that was one of the biggest causes of the drama. Was everyone knowing, we got 90 minutes, but there's going to be 10 minutes added on. It's like, oh shit, we got to
If you're
defend for
time
another
wasting,
10.
it's actually going to get added on.
Literally. So it's like, and I feel like nowadays teams have become very good at time wasting and almost
Newcastle.
incorporating it into their play. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I think Wenger said it. When you study the average of games, the game is only in play for 60 minutes of that so-called 90 minutes. So that's spot on. But in my opinion, I'd love to see it personally. I don't think there's any loss for us as fans. There's more drama, more
better for
excitement,
fans.
more football we get to see.
Imagine Klopp complaining though. He would be fuming if he had to play more minutes.
This is part of the drama I love.
Yeah.
All these big managers who thought, hey, now we see real Fergie time.
Yeah, 15 minutes. I mean, I was at the World Cup, as you know, and I was seeing 12 minutes, 14 minutes, 11 minutes. And if I'm honest, as a fan inside the stadium, like Fuad said, how is that a bad thing? It depends obviously on the situation of the game. If you're holding on to a lead, you've seen it so many times, 6 minutes goes up, all the fans shouting down at the technical area because they want the game to be finished. But if you're a fan, and let's not forget, let's be honest as well, tickets are very expensive. They're hard to come by for a lot of people in this country. If you are lucky enough and privileged enough, because it is a privilege, every time we step into a football stadium, Anfield, Brighton, Chelsea, Tottenham, it's an honour to be there. You should enjoy it. Obviously, you're not at the minute, and neither am I. However, the paying fan, who is overpaying for these tickets, paying a ridiculous amount of money for TV deals as well, if you're getting 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes out of your money, then why not? The only thing it could impact is getting trains after, etc.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Maybe
Yeah,
missing travel.
those 8
I hear
o'clock
that.
late ones, that's the
I
only
hear
one.
that.
The trains are awful at the moment anyway.
Yeah,
They are
that's
awful.
very true.
Imagine a police bust down your door. Yo, stop watching Fulham versus Bournemouth. You're just like, yo, it's 10 minutes added on time. Relax. Hold
Sit
up.
down. Let's put the kettle on.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's half time now at the City Ground. Forest 0, Leicester 0. The only goal we've seen so far is that Onana Everton goal. It's now half time as well. Wolves versus West Ham in the Championship. Sunderland 0, Swansea 0. Sunderland also had Luke O'Neill sent off very early on, so they've got 10 men there. Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 1. Nick Powell getting a consolation as well. Troy Deeney also scoring from the penalty spot for Birmingham away at Bristol. They were 2-0 down in 15 minutes. And Norwich, big win away for them at the minute so far at half-time. 3-0 up away at Preston. Wow. We're approaching half-time at the Amex. How would you sum this one up for us, Ben?
As a Brighton fan, very positive. I think for a 0-0, it's been quite exciting because we've seen some decent attacking play, mainly from one team. But since this penalty incident and the VAR incident, Liverpool have kind of come back in the game. They actually have kind of woken up a bit. It's been a good half, I think. And yeah, very positive for Brighton as we are going through on goal currently.
It's very good play. It's a poor shot from Ferguson. Big chance right at the end of the half.
Jesus.
Yeah, Brighton could very well be 1-0 up after this.
Another FIFA generated
where's he
default
come
player.
from? Yeah.
Where's he come from? Evan Ferguson.
Bohemian.
2 games, 2 starts,
Bohemian.
2 goals.
Yeah.
Bruv, I need this button, man.
So he made his debut for Bohemian in Ireland. I might be butchering their name.
Lord Jesus.
When he was 14 against Chelsea, Frank Lampard's
These are
first
just
game.
made up teams.
Frank Lampard's first.
I remember because
Yeah.
I know it was pre-season friendly. I was on the tour.
Yeah.
14-year-old.
Yeah,
He made his debut.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then we've just signed his friend as well from the same club.
These men are taking people out of
I've got
university.
talents.
Taking
You got any friends? Bring them along as well.
Taking people out of university.
Yeah, we've got two
Well,
boys
mate,
in
you
Brighton,
can
mate,
do like
as well.
50 pickups.
Yeah.
And
Because
as well, right?
who's the new Colombian kid as well? There's one that Brighton
Jeremy
fans are like,
Sarmiento.
he's the next one up. He's the next.
He's actually from like London. He was born in Ecuador, then moved to North London, then went to Portugal when he played for Benfica, and then came back. He's at Charlton, and then went to Benfica, and then we've got him.
And
so he's
Caicedo's Ecuadorian.
Yeah,
as well, isn't he?
Caicedo's Ecuadorian, but yeah, he was born in Ecuador.
So was
never left.
defender as well, wasn't it?
Estepinian.
Estepinian.
Estepinian,
Quite a
yeah.
few Ecuador players.
I mean, it's half time now at the Amex. Brighton well on top. I don't like talking about this topic, but I'm going to open the floor to you guys. Klopp,
Out. Joking.
I know you're used to saying the word out at the minute, but
I don't say I'm not one of those people. That's somebody.
That was a lovely video.
That's a different fan base that started that.
The Chelsea fans following Potter to his car after Fulham. That was a lovely video.
Yeah, they were bigging him up though.
That whole in out, shake it all about. I don't business with
but Klopp, right? Pressure is going to mount naturally if Liverpool don't look like they're getting on to finish in the top 4. I'm in a lot of Liverpool WhatsApp groups. People are saying write it off already. Go again next year. Looking at it, I mean, I'm not going to answer this question. I want to hear you guys' opinion, and obviously it depends on what the next 45 minutes say as well. But is he under pressure?
I don't think so. I mean, he's obviously not doing as well as they thought they would be. Maybe pressure from the fans, like you said. I think was it yesterday, a couple of days ago, when he came out and said they're not to expect any more activity in the transfer window.
He said, I don't think so.
Yeah, fans weren't happy about that. So maybe he's under pressure from the fans. Around the club, I'm sure they still love him. I think it would be nuts to sack him. I do. I don't think he should be sacked anytime soon.
Sacking him is crazy. I think the problem is with Klopp, he's almost been treated like a godlike figure, if you like, because of what he's done for the club. He's actually brought them back to where Liverpool used to be. Yeah, he's brought them back into relevancy. He's got them signing top players. He's got them some of their best players in their history, arguably. You could say Salah, Mane, Van Dijk, Alisson. These are kind of what he's kind of built here. So it's given him credit in the bank, if you like. But that doesn't mean that Liverpool fans are now, blindly going to follow you, everything. And I think this has been the first season where I've been seeing Liverpool fans calling him out. In the summer when they were saying they needed a midfielder, he was saying, we don't. By the end of the window, he was saying, you know what, you guys might have been right. And that was, for me, the first chink in the armour, in my opinion, because I thought this was going to be the season where you lot really kick on. You went for the almost quadruple last year. But then the system, I feel like, where players haven't really stepped up individually. A couple of weeks back, I saw him tweaking around with a few different formations, and I like that because I was like, oh, this is him trying to evolve, trying to revolutionise his team. But it just seems like now he's reverted back to type with a 4-3-3, back to the sluggish kind of midfielders. Let's get the wing backs up, and it's not really clicking the same. So my thing is he's a great manager, but does he have that next evolution? I think that's the thing everybody always spoke about with Fergie, his ability to always move the team on. All right, the 92 boys are happening. Cool. Now it's going to be the Ronaldo-Rooney era. Ronaldo-Rooney era is finishing. All right, Berbatov, Nani, all of these are, and every time he found a way to keep the team ticking along. And I worry that Klopp, they've said, every 7 years he struggles or whatever. But now he's hit that 7-year mark at Liverpool. Do Liverpool fans trust him to rebuild that thing? I think that's where the love as a godlike figure is going to be tested in my eyes. And I think even you yourself, you'll probably say, possibly.
Yeah, he summed it up really well there, to be fair. I think that has been the criticism of Klopp. He's relied on the same players for too long, and it's so obvious with our midfield at the minute that is the case. I mean, even this game, the first 45 minutes, the exposing Konate, Matip's on a yellow card now, Henderson yellow card. We rarely see assists or goals from our midfield three. And that's the main issue. Defensively, sound, really. A couple of issues, obviously, but if you look at the personnel, very happy. Strikers, very happy. And the individual players in the midfield, I'm also very happy with them. And maybe that's more what they've done for the club as opposed to how they're playing right now. But he needs backing. There's no way he's going to re-evolutionise the team and keep evolving if he doesn't get the backing. And to hear that he's come out and said, he doesn't think we are going to get a midfielder. I just don't see how Liverpool could go out and buy a Gakpo and not get a midfielder. That to me is ridiculous. That's punishable, really.
Those two signings for me confuse me the most. The Gakpo one, because I'm like, I get it if he's plugging in for a short-term option, but I was like, that's not a short-term signing. That's like a marquee signing for another club, if you like. But then also Darwin Núñez in the summer, where I was like, this is you essentially saying, I'm moving away from the false 9. I'm now getting a number 9 and I'm shifting the system. And I don't know if Darwin was the bet to bet on.
I still think I'm putting my chips down on Darwin for the long term.
I get that, and there's the potential's there to see it. But to do it right now, I didn't think it was a thing to do. I think he should have continued to try and rebuild the midfield, and then if Mane's gone, look for a more natural replacement.
That would like a Diaz. That makes sense.
Diaz, really and truly, I would have expected him to just kind of take on that next step. But I think when you started to flit away with the false 9 away from there, the midfield. I think was probably the most overlooked part of Liverpool's system. I think the wing-backs got the credit for the assists, the forwards got the credit for the goals, Van Dijk and Alisson got all the credit for the clean sheets, but the engine that allowed all of that to function. And I think the lack of investment in there, you still got guys like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, who... What are you still doing here? 4 or 5 years, you took Gerrard's number, you called him the biggest legend in this club, asked him for his number and disgraced it. Brother, you should be getting bombed out of the team right now, in my opinion. Like, these guys should not be playing, and I don't know why Klopp has
salty.
That's
what it is.
That's the difference between him and Fergie.
He's moving soft. He's moving too nice, too cuddly, too family-orientated, friendly vibes in the dressing room. Bro, like, you have to be ruthless. You have to know when Keita, no matter what, with your injury record, and no matter what ability we may have with your time's up, you can't stay fit. Chamberlain, I've had enough. You can't stay fit. Out. How can a rock and roll, high tempo team have so many injury-prone midfielders? It just doesn't make any sense.
Bro, the thing is, I get it with the likes of like Henderson and things like that, because they've actually been key cogs, But those guys who've been kind of side pieces, bro, like Minamino, dash him out. You're not good enough. Safe. Next club, like. That's where I feel
contributed more than these midfielders we're talking about.
100%, and that's where I feel like Klopp has missed a trick, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I think he deserves next year
as well. One funny little thing: your academy. I don't see much integration from there as well. Outside of Trent,
Ben Doak is the starlet.
The starlet now, but it's like for a club the size of Liverpool's, and I swear to you, I always hear you lot having this guy's coming through. This guy's coming. The Bachet. Is his name? He's looking decent,
kid. Really,
but it's like for someone who's been there 7 years, I'm like, bro, you actually haven't produced anything from the academy. Your signing and talent ID is a little bit without Michael Edwards. Is a little bit.
Should have more than Trent though, to be honest. Should have two or three, four names.
When Nico came through, sold on for big money.
Nico.
Bro, Nico is a good player.
I rate Nico.
He's a very good.
For a team like Brighton.
Yes.
He was never Liverpool caliber.
This is the same with Curtis Jones. Is Curtis Jones from the academy?
Yeah.
Do you really think he's good enough?
He is one that has.
He's one that stays in the squad. He's one that stays in the squad. I think you could always do with a scouser in the team.
Is that you being too nice though, or not ruthless enough?
Maybe it is, but again, maybe I'm brainwashed by this niceness and loyalty thing now. Maybe I did a keep bench sell the other day. I barely sold anyone.
That's what I'm saying. I watched.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Like, do you want change or not? This man kept everyone.
That's the one thing with Fergie.
I'm just a lover, not a player.
Fergie loved.
I sold all of my players.
You were too ruthless.
Fergie loved Van Nistelrooy. Fergie loved Beckham. But he loved. These guys were captains, set piece taker, top goal scorer. But he knew when the time came. Nah, I'm going for the newer.
Ronaldo out, Beckham out, Keane out.
Ronaldo wasn't even like the Ronaldo we know now. It was spaghetti hair, noodled, flicky feet. Yeah, but he said, I can see something there. I'd rather get rid of Van Nistelrooy now in his prime. And I was like, that balls there is what I feel. And the thing is, it's great that bond when you're building something, but it's always difficult, that breaking part. And I feel like that's where Klopp has a bit of difficulty. It's being that cold killer. Yeah. You need that at the top, man, to stay at the top anyway.
Yeah. You can't keep everyone and then still expect change.
Yeah.
If you're going to change the team and you're going to get back to that high tempo, you have to bring in younger midfielders. Henderson can't keep doing this. Thiago can't keep doing this. Fabinho can't keep doing this.
Your club's ruthlessness is how you stayed on top for 20 years.
And then we got too cute and cuddly. Look at the players that we've got in the peripherals of the squad.
Mount. Havertz. Reece James. Now look at you.
Finished.
Midfielders, isn't it?
Do you know what? I can't even disagree with anything you said there in terms of what Liverpool are going through at the minute. I have to agree with it all. Ali A, big Liverpool fan here, saying AGT is getting jarring watching us play like this every single week. It's not Klopp's fault. It's the players, says Sheets of Metal. Not good enough.
Part of Klopp's fault. I'm sorry. There's no way you can.
He takes some of the blame.
There's no way you can look at these performances.
I don't care who you are. Klopp is a god in my eyes. But even if you are a god, you're not exempt. You still hold a little 20% fault.
Even change the way you play. If you're not going to change the players, change the way. Like, okay, the team's aging. So are we going to play at a slower tempo? Are we going to try and keep the ball more?
Because that's cool if you want to do that.
Team? Do that.
Yeah.
But why are we still trying to do this end-to-end stuff with 30-year-olds? It just doesn't make any sense.
Live by the ethos, die by the ethos, man.
The players going to die on the ethos.
I think another moment where I thought about that with Klopp as well, though, was, do you remember last year when you went through that horrible patch of form where your whole defence was basically knackered?
That was the season before last.
The season before last, yeah. Reece Williams, all them. And I remember he was still playing that crazy high line, and that was when I started to question: does he have that tactical flexibility within
high line works, though.
He did. It does work when you've got everybody fit, everybody on form, and their quality's there. But when you've got the guys like Nico Williams and all these men stepping in, I felt like, bro, help them. Like, drop it 10 yards back a little bit.
Naldini's name,
I can't lie, that ponytail was crazy.
Who's
Who was the other one? Was it Nat Phillips or?
No, that's my G. That's Reece Williams.
Was it Reece Williams? That was it. Yeah, that ponytail was crazy.
It was.
Where is he now?
It's like these brothers from Preston.
He's on loan.
Somewhere in the Championship, isn't it?
Is it Swansea?
Yeah.
What about Kabak?
There still.
Kabak from Schalke.
Oh my days.
Howler, bro.
Remember when he went Norwich?
The fact that were you not going for a title? No, that wasn't the title challenge. That was you guys dropped off.
No, that was title challenge.
We were top at Christmas in the season
Bro,
after we won the league.
Bro,
With Kabak, we were top at Christmas with Kabak.
Ozan Kabak and Ben Watson, Ben Davis.
But what it is,
Ben Davis. It was Ben Davis from Preston.
bro, he came on for 20 minutes in a pre-season game and never played Premier League football.
What was that signing about?
Bro,
Was that just to get like
English quota?
English, yeah, exactly.
100%.
We got hoodwinked by that one because I thought he would play. Ben Watson scored a heading.
Scored a goal against Manchester City.
Yeah, in the FA Cup, yeah.
Oh, he's at Blackpool. Reece Williams. There he is.
Is he? Okay.
No, listen, it's frustrating, if I'm honest. It's hard to watch. It's painful. But listen, we obviously stick with the boys. Arthur Melo, 13 minutes of football for Liverpool so far.
We actually do a lot of the same thing. We neglect our midfield. Arthur Melo, Saul Niguez. Like, what is going on? It's insane.
We have to buy a midfielder. That's
João
the only
Felix
way
has
this is
played more
going to
minutes
change.
than Melo. Is that right? Arthur Melo?
It's what?
So João Felix has played more minutes than Arthur Melo.
Do you know what's so funny? I get a little sprinkle.
He ain't even been in the country for a week.
4 times more. 4 times. He played 30 minutes. Shao got sent off on 60, yeah?
I got a little sprinkle of happiness when João Felix in the first couple of minutes nutmegged someone and set up a big chance and said, "Oh, we're cooking." Finally, some flair, some technical ability. I'm going to the mega store to get his name at the back of my shirt. I don't give a damn if he's a loanee.
Bro,
I'm like,
I can't lie to
finally,
you.
the rest of the season's finished, but at least I'm going to enjoy some football.
Don't act like you still go to Megastore, bro.
Nah, we'll go mega store.
No, he does.
You get the Nike packs
I'm a
coming through.
community man. I'm a community
That's
man.
true still.
I'm a community man.
Tell me you go Megastore.
I'm a community
He
man.
goes to community pack and goes to the store and acts like he works from the
And then
store.
hold it up outside the store.
I still get my hair cut in Croydon. I'm a community man.
Nah, man, I know you getting HD cuts and then man coming to the crib.
Croydon. Do you know what? I respect your loyalty to your barber, bro, because
Facts.
I know where you live.
Yeah,
not
I
like
trek.
that. Not the exact address.
Yeah.
But for you to go to Croydon to
I
get a
trek for
trim,
that.
Hey, man.
I trek for them.
big
people.
up to you.
If you live in South
your barber
London,
should appreciate you a lot.
Really should. I'm going to start showing them the journey on Google Maps. Ain't it?
Make your own loyalty card
Share
and
live
start
location.
putting things in and just say, listen, at some point you're going to need
At
to
some
show
point,
some
like a
loyalty
club
to
card,
me.
I'm going to need these loyalty points. I'm going to need a discount. You know what I
We're
mean?
loyal to each other. Do you know what? I had a slight trim yesterday, and my barber in North London, it was a moment where he knows I live in Liverpool, so he knows I've got someone else in
barbers,
Liverpool. And it was quite sad actually, because he's like, I know you got someone up there, but
Cheating
don't
on
forget
your
about
barber
me
is
when you're
proper-
home.
I do that as well.
Do you cheat on your barber?
I got 2 barbers.
How can you have 2
In the
barbers?
same city though.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even like they're around the corner from each other.
Do they know about each other?
You're a devil. You're playing with
Do they know?
That's the key thing. No. They know about each other.
was
So
gonna
it's
say.
like two different techniques, obviously, for it. So it's like one, it's repairs and all of that, and then the other one is like
So they serve
more
different
intricate.
purposes.
Yeah, they set up different purposes. One is like a nice little, and then another one is like he does Aaron Wan-Bissaka and all these man, and one is like
One of them, yeah.
2 different purposes, 2 different reasons.
You know what?
If it's date night, if it's just a routine date today.
If it's cinema with dark lights, I'm going to my. If I'm on a stream.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing a job for Adidas.
Different
Other brands are available.
Man's got his
That's where you go.
rotational and he's got his key player, indispensable starter.
You hit the nail on the head there. I said.
Do they know when
Yes.
they've been benched?
Do they know their role?
Yeah, they know when they know their roles as well. Yeah.
Wow,
Do you
he's
know
got
why?
his barber's
Because I was already
patent.
getting done by one, and then when I went to
Pause.
the other one, I was like, "Hey, yo." No pause.
Oh, okay.
And when I went to the other, I was like, "Hey, I do go around the other side," and it was like, okay, I guess, okay. I
just
was
gonna
like,
get
I'll
something
be
from
here,
the back.
infrequently, and it was like, alright, cool, man. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I've realized though with my hair? It's like every barber when they see it, they're like, what can I do with this?
They look at it as like a blank canvas.
Bro, they can't wait to get after they've done. They can't wait to get there. Let me get.
I hate
Let
that.
me get a video. And I'm like, yo, come on, man. I ain't even doing
Can you
this
share
shit for
that
my
as well?
IG. I'm like, yeah, come on.
I missed my
now that
train.
you've got it, though, send me it.
I went to Bristol a few weeks ago, missed my train because he spent, no joke, 10 minutes. He would like go so slow around my head and was
Bro.
like, please, I really need to go. And he was like, okay, 1 minute. And went to go get his phone. It just took ages and missed my train to
It's
Bristol.
worse when they start having conversations.
That's a free trim. Oh my goodness
Yeah.
me, Brighton have scored.
Yes, straight away from the kickoff.
Why was so behind?
Solly March.
Oh my god.
Solly March.
Hey, man.
Deserby gets the
What
best
was
out
that
of this guy.
half-time team?
That's fully deserved though.
Oh my god.
Fully deserved.
It ain't
And Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wow.
The goals are flying in. It's London
Wow.
buses all
Wolves
over.
have scored as well.
But I don't want this bus to come, and
Oh
that
my
bus
God.
is
Daniel
Brighton
Podence.
scoring through Solly March. They're now 1-0 up against Liverpool. Also, Daniel Podence, the 5'6" magician for Wolverhampton Wanderers, scores against West Ham. Matisse.
I'm so happy that we get to go through this experience. Me and you, we gon' die. We going down to the trenches. Me and you this season,
together.
you'll never walk alone. Every single game, we just try to outdo each other. I lose, and you're like, no, step back. We're
You know what?
we're the main characters.
This is
Let me show you how it's done. Then you lose, and then watch tomorrow against Palace. We got something for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, James
Another goal.
Ward-Prowse.
Another goal.
Oh
It's
my
James
God.
Ward-Prowse. Was it a free kick?
Here we go,
As
here
I
we go.
mentioned earlier.
David
Let's have a look at this goal now. It's
Mitoma.
Matoma across the goal.
It's-
Alisson,
As you
bro.
like.
Solberto
As you
Marchos.
like.
What a player.
You
What
did
a
say
player.
he's turned him into a goal scorer, Solly
He
March.
actually has. Wow.
Bro, that is poor.
Deserved.
Poor,
Very
poor.
deserved.
Yeah, very much deserve for Brighton to be.
I bet in front of the North Stand as well, the best stand in the world. Shout out to everyone in the North Stand today. Better
I
than
do,
realise
I
the
do
club-
like your stadium. I went there
Thanks.
once.
You do
last
realise the COP TV slogan is the voice of football's most famous stand, yeah?
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
You did mention
Yeah.
the North Stand.
But yeah, it's a very nice stadium. When we first got into the Premier
Matip,
League, it
what
was
are you
too
playing
nice.
at, bro?
That's the thing. Like,
Diving
people weren't
in as
scared
well.
about playing against Brighton, but they are scared now. That's the
I do like Brighton a lot, you know. Like just in general.
You sound like Potter, man.
Like the
Stop.
City, the city. I do like it. I went down there. That's where I got my PS5. I was like, I'm gonna collect it from the game
Bro.
in Brighton just because I want to go down
me
there.
a plug to the PS5, man.
No,
they
I've got to
can't.
get it from game in Brighton. It's much easier.
They are available now. They're finally
Yeah.
actually available.
Bro,
It was like a
catch
couple
train
last week.
Still can't get one, man. I need one, man.
Bro, I had to get one. I was like, I'm catching
Hint,
the train
hint,
all the way to
lady.
Brighton. Yeah, bringing it all the way back here.
My birthday soon.
The barber's going to bring you a PS5.
She will be watching this.
Yeah,
his
you
barbers
know
bring
what?
them-
You're right,
Yeah.
actually.
Both his barbers bring a big
Xbox and a PS5.
No, I remember Mrs.
Pundit saying, hello AGT, what did I say, sir? You were right. Matip earns a lot of money, but he is also poor.
I like that.
Good bar.
Good line.
That went over my head at
that's
the
mad.
start.
That's a mad. That's a mad sentence. That's a bar.
Matip earns a lot of money, but he is also poor. Well, he's been poor in this game, and arguably could have had a second yellow there and been off. The ref played advantage for the goal. Henderson also needs to be careful as well. Liverpool, this is one of the worst games I've seen Liverpool play in a long, long time. What a beautiful day. We won the Manchester Derby, and Liverpool are losing to the Seagulls, says AW.
I need to watch Brighton
Brilliant.
versus Liverpool every time at the Deal Sports studio.
Guess you
because-
could say that's brightened his day.
This season's a joke, honestly. It's gonna come back. Like it's not even funny anymore. How is the football pyramid and scheme just swooped around like that? Man United, Arsenal were the banter clubs, social media banter clubs on social media, just like, oh, we're fifth. No, we're gonna be fifth. No, we're gonna be fifth. Europa League, and now it's like, well, of course, Man City are,
Hey, man.
are still up there, but they're
Football
faltering.
comes in cycles, bro.
I was going to say, every
Football
half a
comes in
decade-ish,
cycles.
6, 7 years, it always flips around.
Yeah.
And there's always like teams that are caught off guard, and like I feel like Liverpool are the
Complacency.
ones that have been caught off guard because
Yeah.
they've been so steadily in the race. There always comes out one drop off year. I remember, was it Chelsea had it under Jose third year, and Conte early on that year.
Yeah.
They just felt like
Jose got sacked in September.
because
that
it
year.
seemed like everything was building nicely under Jose, and yeah, we're back to being big times, and then boom, this plunge out of
But we are
nowhere.
the worst. We've never done a three-peat, of course. Like we've done back-to-back. But
Yeah.
I think we've done back-to-back once. Like because with all
Jose first time, yeah.
Jose. Like all the times you would think Chelsea would have had a couple back-to-backs with all
No.
of the quality players we had. We just never done it because every single time we won a league title, we got complacent immediately. It started from the hierarchy, all filtered all the way down. So
Charlie with a comment, and this is not one that I want to read out, but are you afraid, AGT, that if things go well, Arsenal can win the league at Anfield?
That would be.
That would be the second time they've done that as well. By the way,
say that again.
You'd never hear the end of it.
Are you afraid, AGT, that if things go well, Arsenal could win the league at Anfield?
Will we play each other next week?
We do. We'll have to do previews on each other's.
Yeah.
We'll just cry.
Mid-off.
No.
Battle of the mid.
It'll be
A therapy session, that'll be.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about Chelsea then, right? You've been slagging my team off for some time now.
There's no need to slag us off. We're 10th. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? What else is there to really say?
I've been waiting for this topic.
Well, listen, we're gonna jump into this topic. To kick us off, though, let's have a look at what Robbie and Expressions had to say about Chelsea on the Best of Enemies only yesterday.
Let's talk about something that we can both agree on.
I'm in the zone, blood. I'm in zone 6 now, Robbie.
Something we can both agree on.
What's that?
Something we both have a common sort of love of.
What's that?
Chelsea getting battered.
Oh, Chelsea.
Potter. After the game, right, they were singing, "We want our Chelsea back, we want," and I went on Twitter and this guy wrote, "Yeah, you have got your Chelsea back." That's what it was like before the money came.
100%, blood. 100%, fam. You get me, blood. That was the blank checkbook, Chelsea. Let me tell you this, yeah. You see Potter, fam. You showed man the picture, blood. That man need to slap it in the episode, fam. Show man a picture of Potter at Brighton
age, man.
and show man a picture of Potter now, yeah? Let me tell you, this guy aged faster than the Cameroonian squad. You know them? I swear to God. I swear to God, Rocky, blood. I can't believe it. And as for Yao Felix, more like Chow Felix, blood. He's gone, blood. This brother gave himself a paid holiday, blood. He had enough of the loan already, you know. He's had enough of the loan, fam. Bro, it's like, I called them Blockbuster Video FC, blood. You know what I mean, fam? Man didn't even want the DVD no more. He handed it back early, blood.
It is 2-0 to Brighton versus Liverpool. Solly March again with another goal. Double trouble. Liverpool are finished. Like, honestly, this is insane.
To see it.
Yes. All Liverpool fans came into this game, no confidence whatsoever. And we now see why. They are an absolute train wreck.
Solly March.
Since the World Cup, I don't know if they've regressed. I don't know if that's a fair statement to say. I've been watching a lot of Liverpool games. Leicester, lucky.
Wolves, lucky.
Brentford slapped. This game now. And it's not even like they're playing like Man City's yet and Arsenal. So
Solly March, the local lads.
Oh my God! Look at that, wide open.
It's a finish from the boy.
From March.
That's a finish from the boy.
What a finish from
And
March.
he's on a hat trick.
Oh yes.
He's on a hat trick.
Trossard was on a hat trick last year. Look at all the Brighton boys running.
That's my favourite
literally where my
celebration.
seat is up there.
That's the best celebration in football. Into the crowd.
unreal. Yeah.
Into the crowd. I love that.
Get in there.
Why do the stewards always ruin it?
The Zerbi, my
Health and safety is overrated.
Health and safety, hype, blood. Let me touch my people. Yeah? Feel the love.
Liverpool having an absolute howler here at Brighton.
local boy.
One of the worst performances I've seen from Liverpool, not only this season but in years gone by. I can't remember them having a shot, let alone on target. Gakpo invisible up front, Salah useless. Ox hasn't done anything, and again the midfield is so exposed here. Look at this.
Were you hyped about Gakpo?
Look at this. Where's the midfield here, boys?
This is what I get as a.
Where is that midfield? And then for him to score from there.
Watching
It's a great
BT,
finish,
Sky, Match of the Day, it's always the other team are bad.
No. Brighton
We're only just starting
No,
to
but
get
bro,
credit.
I've told you how good you are.
Yeah, I know, but
Brighton,
I mean,
Munich, I've told you.
more so now we actually are getting credit, but it used to be so frustrating when we would get a good result and it would be like, oh, the other team played bad.
How has he
Brighton
scored
are-
from there? What a strike.
Finish, Solly.
Another goal. Oh no, it's been disallowed. Forest just scored one, but they've taken away that goal at the City ground. Liverpool have got to score 3 to get a result out of this one now, which I don't see happening. And yeah, your podcast tomorrow is going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
But let's go back to Chelsea, right? Potter, sack or back? Matisse, take the floor.
Well, obviously, I'm not sacking him personally, just because that would be insane. I mean, you've literally just brought him in on a 5-year contract, £60 million deal. Also paid his release clause. How much was that again?
20?
Yeah, was it, yeah, something like that. I think so.
Right, 19
Pretty
million in
expensive,
history.
yeah.
So the most expensive manager in history, plus all the backroom staff and head of recruitment, as you all know, and etc. etc. So for me, but I'm not saying, you know, I am some sort of Potter fanatic. I'm not. I don't have any huge loyalty to the man. He hasn't done anything yet at my club, but I would like to see him given the opportunity to have his transfers. This is his first window. We've brought in Badiashile, we've brought in Felix, we've brought in a couple young players as well, Santos, Fofana. So obviously the previous window was looking like a big problem because we were kind of in a rush replacing senior players that were leaving, Werners, Christensen's, Rudiger's, Lukaku's, and there was no structure clearly because there literally was no structure. There was no recruitment staff or anything like that, so it was a little bit all over the place. And a lot of those players are not yet to turn up, which is fine. When you get taken over like that in such quick succession, I'm not expecting it to be smooth. So for me, as long as he doesn't get us into a relegation battle, then, this is ridiculous, by the way. This form is really poor. He does need to step it up. We can't be out here, 1 win in the last 9. There are standards. There is baseline level standards that need to be attained. But for me, it's like the season's done. Why bring in another manager with a group of players that most of us don't really rank highly, with 10 injuries, and then you bring in the new manager, and what if he doesn't get them working? Then what? You're going to sack him too? So then we're going to go through 3 managers in 1 season. Season is done anyway. Do you know what I mean? Just try and...
writing it off now?
It is. The top 4's done, and I don't really care too much about the Europa League or the Conference League. So for me, just try and get us playing better football, play more young players, do as well as you can in the Champions League, however long that lasts, and then, just obviously know that you need to sort yourself out next season, that this can't carry on. You can't be in 10th. It's nuts. But
it was never going to be an instant impact, though,
exactly.
Was it?
He's not an
thought
instant
it was,
impact
then they got a kind of Yeah.
We heard last night in a report from Matt Law saying that the Chelsea owners plan to overhaul the squad and end player power. They're behind Graham Potter. I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. But the second question after that is, what is the cut-off point? Where do you say, right, well, we have to change now?
Yeah, if we're in a relegation battle, like literally in a relegation battle, and like,
do you know how mad this is?
Chelsea, bro. on my review after Fulham, I said we need to aim for the 40-point mark. That's the new aim now. I need 5 wins, people. That's what, and people are laughing, thinking it's a joke. But 5 wins. I went through the fixture list. It's not as easy as you think to pick out 5 wins. When you're playing as badly as we are, you can't just expect that you're going to get 5 wins.
Yeah.
Like, anyone in this Premier League on their day can turn up. We just saw Southampton beat City. So, bottom of the table just beat second. So for me, I need my 5 wins. That's where I'm at. I'm not one of these people that are like, kind of think that we're too good to finish outside of the top 7, or we're too good to, not go without a trophy. That's why I've always appreciated and said, I want the Carabao Cup, I want the FA Cup, I want as many trophies as you can get, because you're never too big to fail, especially when you recruit as shit as we have, and you sack as many managers as we do, and you get as lax as we do. So for me, get me my 40 points. we go from there.
Potter's had these runs where he's gone, I think for Brighton twice he had a run of 10 games without a win, and then we had like a stretch of 5 losses in a row. He does have these runs in him. But like we've said, it's going to be a long-term thing. You can't just go in and change the whole style of play for Chelsea Football Club with the egos that they've got. It's going to take time, and it was probably the worst club to join in terms of patience. The least patient 100%. Club ever.
From the fan base, I agree.
Yeah.
But from the owners, this is new ownership, so we don't know how patient they're going to be. That record and that kind of narrative is around, obviously, Roman Abramovich. So yeah, not the best club to come to. But let's be real. Chelsea not being patient as a fan base, that goes across the board. If this was Arsenal, I mean, we literally just saw, they all wanted Arteta out. Most of them wanted Arteta out. I know now they're walking away and they're trying to collect their wins, and hey, you need to apologise. No, you need to apologise. Not me, because I don't support your club. Most of them wanted Arteta out. The rages, the fan cams on AFTV, get him out! I want Arteta out! He's a scrub! Pep's cone man. So don't try to pretend like you're the most patient fan base. We're all the same. We're all emotional human beings. We don't want to see our club looking like crap. And at the end of the day, yes, Chelsea fans are used to managers being sacked, but most Chelsea fans understand, or at least they should, that we do need to go down a long-term route, because we have not competed for the league since 2017. Yeah. The only question mark is it going to be Potter that does that? Do they trust Potter? You can't just say to someone, Arteta did it, so obviously Potter's going to do it. That's not how football works. It's not linear. So Potter has to show that he can handle egos, that he can be as ruthless as Arteta and get rid of Aubameyangs and get rid of Lacazettes and take charge and not be too nice. Yeah.
Can I just say, guys, a bit of breaking news just coming into us, right? And this is a big one. The Chelsea board are now in Poland trying to reach verbal agreement with Mudryk and Shakhtar. Official bid ready, close to £100 million. Arsenal have always been leading the race in talks with Shakhtar after the third official bid. Mudryk's position now crucial as Chelsea again look to hijack another signing. What is your instant reaction to that, Matisse? Fabrizio Romano 3 minutes ago.
Alex, I'm tired. I run a YouTube channel. Every 5 minutes there's a new target. I have to go and look at that target. I have to check their stats. I have to check their highlights. I have to see what system they play in.
Brazil scouts.
I'm tired. I didn't get to sleep until 4 a.m. yesterday trying to figure out who this new signing that we could be going from PSV, this Fuad's academy product. Now, suddenly we're not interested in him anymore. We're going for Mudryk.
Well, yeah, because the other day he was linked with Thuram as well. So it's
bro, I'm tired, bro. Like, talk needs to be stopped. Like, just chill, bro.
But it doesn't make sense.
Put your wallet down for 10 minutes.
Like, could you just, like, it's like being in Mayfair.
It's like he's got an addiction.
Man's had a payday and he's in Mayfair and he's just literally just spending.
More than he earned.
I'm just like, bro, please, could you just give me 5 minutes? So with Mudryk is literally posting Instagram stories of Arsenal.
Of Arsenal stuff,
He's in Arsenal pajamas. He's got Arsenal capes. He flies around the room screaming, Arsenal. So I don't really understand what's going on here. And again, this is not a priority. Mudryk might be a good talent, right? This is vastly overpriced. But we need a midfielder and we need a right back. Because I've seen Aspilicueta get skinned by 34-year-old Willian, who just came back from Corinthians, right?
You're not still needing number 9 as well, an actual striker.
I don't mind about that, man.
Striker.
No, because Man United don't have a striker, they're just fine. Arsenal have a striker banging in loads of goals, in Nketiah or Jesus, you know, not world-class strikers, they're just fine. I want Chelsea to just get back to playing good football again. Create loads of chances. Keep the ball. Entertain me. And if you miss chances, that's the least of my problems. I'll deal with that next year. Right now, I can't even watch the football. So, striker is somebody else. That's another problem.
Incredible.
We're not there yet.
And we were just talking about player power. Does this now come down to Mudryk to make that decision? Does he say, well, I know you're getting 100 from Chelsea, but I want to go to Arsenal for 70?
Is he just... I mean, I'm sure he's a very good player, but is he just overhyped? He's played in the Ukrainian league. He's played in Champions League. I mean, I don't know. He's only just like randomly come about. I think the first time I saw him play was against Celtic, and now all of a sudden he's worth 100 million. I don't know. I feel like it's happened.
Do you know
really
what
fast.
it is? Anthony ruined the market. I think Pepe. I think there have been so many clubs are seeing players who are in and around that player they're selling's market, if you like, and they're saying, oh well, if he went for that, if Jack Grealish went for 100 mil, right? We were never going to accept 100 mil for Kane. City fucked it up for themselves. So it's like when Shakhtar saw Anthony moving for 100 mil, and they're like, he's not even putting double figures up in Eredivisie. So technically, the leagues don't matter anymore. I guess Mudryk is 100 mil for us. As I said, clubs are paying for potential nowadays, and I think they're looking at Mudryk, and I think physically he looks very, very dangerous. I can't lie. Like pace-wise, I said previously, that's the fastest white boy I've seen since Iron Robin. Like, that boy is quick, and genuinely, I think he's got qualities about him. The question is, can he step it up? And then you look at the Arsenal front line as well. It's like they've got Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, which pretty much seems locked in. If he's 100 mil, he's going to have to drop one of them, essentially. And it's like, those three have really worked hard to kind of make them what they are. You've got Odegaard in behind that as well, so they're not going to sacrifice that for a 4-4-2. So that's the part where I'm interested in, how he really fits into this team.
Where's he fit into Chelsea? Yeah.
And then with Chelsea, for me, I don't think that move is on, purely because of how I've seen Mudryk sell himself to Arsenal. If I do see him holding a Chelsea shirt, if I see him holding a Chelsea shirt, the game is gone. The game is gone, because
you can't be doing. Wasn't it? Tottenham were going to sign Willian, and he jumped ship to Chelsea all of a sudden.
If you really want to play for a club, take the less money, take whatever it is, man. For me, I think the way you've been twerking, brother.
His back is hurting.
Oh man, listen, not even. Let me not say it.
I know what you're like. There's levels to this game.
Crazy right now.
Fuad is going up the stairs, and Fuad is like, yo, let me see if I can get to the top flight.
No. Let me chill. Follow me on Twitter.
You'll find it on Twitter. I guarantee that.
Fuad's like, yo, let me see if I can go a little higher with that.
Wrong show. Going back to Brighton, it's a quadruple substitution that's about to happen for Liverpool. Joe Gomez on, Ben Doak on, Harvey Elliott on, and Cater on. of the 4 subs that are coming on for Liverpool. Right now, I'm currently watching Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is the out-and-out number 9 for Liverpool.
I was going to say, do any of those 4
What?
fill you
Lord Jesus.
None. Maybe Ben Doak, just because, look, they're all lining up at the bottom. It's like they're bringing on a whole new team.
You lot are on a madness. Who do you think's going to win next week?
Is that, they're not giving Trent a yellow for that, are they? Oh my days.
wow.
Book him.
Oh
It's not
my
Liverpool's
days.
day.
It's not our year so far. Our record in January in the last 7 years under Klopp, I think it's the win percentage is like 30% of games in 7 Januaries.
Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. In answer to your question, who's going to win next week? Is it possible for both teams to lose a game?
Yeah, I saw that. That's funny.
I don't know.
The first ever
Probably
Premier League
not,
match,
but
or
It needs to
football
be a
match where
draw,
both
isn't
teams
it?
have
It
lost.
needs to be a draw.
Big up to Big Ash for the super chat. Amazing performance by Brighton. Ben, what do you think about Arsenal's visit to the Amex, and what do you think about Arsenal's chances this season?
Yeah, touched on it earlier in the show, didn't I? Saying that I think 4-2 flattered them. I think in about the 60th minute, Brighton came into the game, and a couple of mistakes from the goalkeeper let us down. But yeah, it was very strange seeing Arsenal come to the Amex and play like they did. We thought they would be the Arsenal of old and maybe get turned over or so, or maybe be a tighter game. But yeah, you could tell they're on another level, and they're a different Arsenal, which was scary. It was scary to see. They look like a different team. And doesn't really look like stopping, does it? So in terms of, they're obviously title contenders, like we've said. I think they'll carry on.
Speaking of Arsenal, let's have a little look then at the North London derby. 4:30 kickoff tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute belter, this one. We're going to do a combined 11, but before that, let's have a look at this from earlier on in the week.
This is what you get from Spurs fans. Nasty people. Third place finishes, all we get is criticism and stick from everyone saying, bottlers. But when Spurs... Spurs spend money on whack players and overperform to finish second and win.
Has he not got a point though in terms of you can say you was good but you don't win anything?
No. He's got a point there. But
so why should people respect a team that doesn't win?
No. When this fixture comes up, the whole week I'm just thinking about that game. Like, it means everything, bro. Listen, I've had some good memories, but boy, if I had to make the option again, then I don't know. I was a little bit envious, but then seeing their plight, seeing their demise, like it was brilliant, man. It was brilliant. That's their version of a trophy.
Obviously, you are brothers. Are we going to get a handshake or a fist pump?
Tosin, born 21st of July 1992. Arsenal fan. Come on, you gooners. Tobes, born 21st of July 1992. Spurs fan till I die. For a long time, the North London derby meant nothing to me because Spurs were nothing to Arsenal. The North London derby means everything, especially shutting those mouthy across the road up. Now it means putting a club that's low back in their low place. I can't stand them, and I need 3 points this Sunday.
Well, there you go, the DR face-off. What a battle that was between the twins. Let's talk about the North London derby then. Let's do a combined 11. I want to go around the table. We can start off in goal, obviously. For me, it has to be Ramsdale. Is that fair?
Got to be unanimous.
It is fair. It is fair. It is fair.
Yeah.
I agree. Let us know in the comments what you think about this as well.
Merchant.
Big up to Shabo, says AGT is a great presenter. Big up to this panel, great show, lads. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Right back, who you got? Can't be Tottenham.
Ben White, easy.
Ben White.
Can't be anyone at Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely walks him. That's probably just Tottenham. One of their weakest points of their team is right back. I don't rate any of them.
Yeah, if someone in the chat saying Emerson Royale,
we don't see Spence.
Yeah, definitely right back is nailed on there for Benny Blanco. Centre backs. I mean, it's difficult really to not give Arsenal the majority of defenders, really.
I mean, what system are we playing?
4-3-3?
Yeah, 4-3-3 would be easy, wouldn't it?
I know you would prefer a different one, but I'd say Gabriel and
maybe Romero would be the only shout for Spurs, maybe.
Too rash for me.
I think Saliba's been better.
I think this season in the Premier League, Romero ability-wise, you could say, but I think in the Premier League he hasn't been at his best, and then in the World Cup he kind of performed, redeemed himself, and that's where kind of he's getting a lot of his clout now this season. It's like, World Cup winner Romero, but really and truly in the Premier League he's not been great. I'd probably say Saliba and Gabriel. Going off this season's performances.
Had a few moments as well, but
Saliba's had a few moments, but then I feel like Gabriel on the other side has stepped up.
And Gabriel's walks in straight away.
Yeah.
So we're now looking at
a back four, a back five.
A back five. I mean, left back.
Yeah.
It's Zinchenko.
We're not playing Perisic.
Yeah,
We're not playing wing back.
So that's 5 out of 5 for Arsenal so far. Let's go to the midfield. Odegaard has to be in it.
Yeah,
There's no question. Partey and Xhaka have to also be in it for me as well.
Do they? Bentancur gets left out, is it?
You tell me. You make a fight.
I think Bentancur can have a shout.
I think Bentancur gets in.
He's probably the only shout.
I think, in my opinion, he gets in.
That's
where I would discuss. I would say Partey's been cleared.
Bentancur's been really good this season.
Partey's been cleared one of the best defensive mids in the Premier League. I think Xhaka's been having an incredible season as well. But I think Bentancur, if he was not in that Spurs team this year, we would be somewhere in the bottom half. I genuinely kid you
I'm
not.
going to have to give all 3 to Arsenal again here.
Nah, I'd back
so.
Bentancur for Xhaka.
I think he's one of those players that doesn't get the credit he deserves, but there's no weak part of Bentancur's game in my opinion. He's literally the all-round midfielder in my eyes.
Okay, go on. Bentancur, Odegaard, Partey.
Yeah.
And then up front, I think Kane walks into it.
Yep.
Saka,
Naturally.
Martinelli.
Saka on
Saka
the right.
and Martinelli. So we're talking about 9 Arsenal players.
Bruv, it's that type of season, man. Them man are flying top of the year. I would have put Kulusevski in, but Kulusevski's been injury hit all year this year. Quality-wise, I think them two, Saka and Kulusevski, are probably the most neck and neck out of the whole pitch. But Saka this year, bruv, it's hard to hate. Even me, I'm finding it hard, man. I'm like, the kid looks good.
That 11 is bleak for Tottenham fans to look at.
It's 9 Arsenal players, only 2 Tottenham ones.
But
Sadiq
do you know what
saying Xhaka is clear of Bentancur.
Do you know what that tells you, though? Yeah, it tells you Arsenal's squad building over the last 2-3 years, in my eyes, has been a lot better than what Spurs has been. Spurs, I think, over the last 4 or 5 years have been struggling to sign quality, and then when they have tried to sign Lo Celso, Ndombele, Steven Bergwijn, you're looking at kind of big busts, essentially, whereas Arsenal, they've kind of gone smart. Ben White, when they did go expensive. You look at Saliba, 27 million. Gabriel, 27 million. Odegaard, I think 30-odd million. So it's like, even Partey wasn't a crazy amount for the level of talent that he was. They knew last year, coming to your contract, we know you're an Arsenal fan. Do you want to come, sort of recruitment all around at Tomiyasu? We were supposed to get him. He's now just chilling, but he'd walk into our side. Do you know what I mean? So it just goes to show you, even Zinchenko this year, Jesus, like the fees they picked him up for, it's been brilliant.
Jesus and Zinchenko.
So you have to give Arteta, if there's one thing, I think his tactics and his mentality, all that gets credit, but his recruitment has been arguably
the only bad one was
10
Willian.
out of 10, bro. Yeah. And Willian was even like a freebie. I'm just need like a winner because the squad is full of kind of losers. It was more like a mental change. But as soon as he saw he wasn't up to level, he was like, all right, boom, pot belly, get out of here, see you off to Brazil. And that's what I love. That's why you got to give it credit, man.
From Inside Spurs, he made a very good point. He was like, the recruitment has been poor because it's like Trossard. Would you be interested in Trossard if he wasn't running down his contract?
Bro, I'll be real with you. This whole Trossard thing is confusing me. I'm like, you've got a guy with a bad attitude running down his contract who, don't get me wrong, he's had a nice little spell of form or whatever over the last 12 months, but you're not that guy.
You wouldn't be interested in him. If he still had like 3 years left, you wouldn't be interested in him.
The thing, he's 29 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to think like 20.
Bro, you ain't got much time of your peak left, and you're going to be wanting top dollar. You're not going to be a guaranteed starter.
And you're a bad apple.
I'm not really keen on the Trossard signing. And previous windows, we've been linked with him, and I'm just like, I don't see it. I think he's at Brighton where he is. He needs to understand this is where you're going to do the best. Sign your 3-4 year deal and become a legend here. He thinks he's some top 6 star. Watch, you'll find out real quick, bro.
Yes, it's gone downhill since after the World Cup for him. Obviously, he had a very poor World Cup with Belgium.
Brighton are doing very well. They're going to maybe make Europe.
It doesn't make. Sometimes players just are so delusional.
Apparently,
they don't
we offered him a new contract before the World Cup, similar to Alexis, but Alexis actually signed the contract. And then after that, Trossard was like, "Well, I'll try and find
Alexis."
We've had a bid from overseas, but
and Alexis McAllister is a better player than Trossard.
Yes, well, yeah, I'd have to say.
Yeah. By the way, Brighton's still absolutely bossing this game. Liverpool not 1 inch
Salah playing?
of hope.
Is Liverpool playing?
No, he's not.
Liverpool,
Bro, that's the first time I've seen him
He
on the
is not,
screen.
yeah.
I was like, hold on.
Damn, Liverpool still playing against Brighton.
I forgot he was even on the pitch.
Going back
when that game finished.
Going back to the North London derby, how do you see this one playing out? Traditionally, Spurs have always done well against Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
Kane normally scores a penalty, even though he could miss the next one he takes.
Easy now. Easy.
Careful. What's your prediction for the type of game? Not necessarily the score, but how is this game going to play out tomorrow?
I don't know. Tottenham, Arsenal games always start off blistering. I think within the first half an hour, you can kind of tell what way this game's going to go. Whether it's going to be a battering or whether we're going to beat them. So I think it will be all guns blazing kind of the first half an hour or so, and that will kind of set the tone. That's why I've always said, for me, this game form, all of that goes out of the window. They always say for derbies, but genuinely for the North London derby, it's like you have to turn up that first 20 minutes. I remember one time at the Emirates, within 25 minutes, we were out of it. This was like 2 years ago. I remember Doherty getting absolutely ruined on the right-hand side. And I was like, yeah, you can see that guy's an Arsenal fan. Fucking gave him an open alley, bro. But this, for me, is probably the most nervous I've been for an at-home game, purely because of the form Arsenal are in, and then the way we're kind of playing. We look a bit disjointed. The defence looks like it's being held together by sellotape, basically. And I don't know, I can see a draw for Arsenal and us maybe dropping points in that kind of manner. But then at home, we have always been able to kind of pull something out. Even when we have played bad, even when Arsenal came and won the title on us, they didn't win that day. They drew type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So we've always been able to, at home, keep the scoreline respectable. So I'm not expecting a loss, but worst case scenario, a draw.
That's the maddest thing, though, isn't it? The home advantage in the North London derby. I can't remember the last time Arsenal won, or was it the last time Spurs won?
Rosicky with a screamer.
You can't disregard the home advantage in North London derby. Just the history of it.
Yeah,
what home team normally does do well, normally wins.
Yeah, Tottenham have not won.
The crowd gets so up for it.
Yeah.
You can't help not feel like there's a 12th man in the game. Do you know what I mean?
But this is more exciting because it's a different Arsenal team now. This is an Arsenal that's top of the Premier League.
I think this is almost like the game. This is the biggest game where Arsenal fans are like, listen, all right, we got who they got next week as well.
Man United.
So I think if they can get through these 2 weeks, that rubber stamps their title credentials. You back to a double in the North London derby in a season. I can't remember the last time they did that. And then to go United the week after, and you go and scout that, who are basically the form team at the moment. I think that is the ultimate. When they beat you guys earlier in the season was when I said, okay, now I'm taking them serious. Yeah. And then now if they do this back to back,
that makes them favourites, probably.
That's where I'm now scared.
Well, that was my next question. If Arsenal do win the next 2 games, they almost kind of go clear, and it would become theirs to lose. And then if that happens, then we're looking at a potential Arsenal league victory for the first time since 2004. Absolute madness. We have got predictions. Well, we'll do the predictions for that now, actually. Because obviously we've got our other predictions for the end of these games, but I got a prediction 2-1 Tottenham.
Yeah, Harry Kane double gets the record.
Okay.
Come on, you.
Yeah, that's a very
record. He'll become Tottenham's all-time leading goal scorer.
Yeah, all-time leading goal scorer above Jim Greaves. Yeah, man.
2-1 Tottenham, Matisse.
I think it's a motivation. The thing is over the last...
Another goal at Goodison Park, and it's that man again. JWP, James Ward-Prowse.
Hey, do what
2
you got
goals.
to do. Do what you got to do.
Do you know what? This guy saves Southampton on a weekly basis. I mean, I know they get battered a lot, but... You know, got the FA Cup winner the other day, scored in the week, and now scores 2 here.
He's someone you lot should be looking at.
We should be. We really should be looking at James Ward-Prowse. 12 minutes to go now at Everton. I can guarantee the atmosphere inside Goodison right now is going to be one of a toxic nature.
Toxic.
Okay.
There's going to be headlocks in abundance.
There might even be more than headlocks. They might take it up a level now. I don't know.
How crazy that is. What a director.
Headlock
And she's a woman.
There's so many things wrong with that.
Crazy.
Lurking in a car park for a woman is one thing, but then to put her in a headlock.
Why'd you
like she's
that
on the
bid?
pitch playing? Madness. So 2-1 Tottenham. Matisse?
1-1.
1-1. I'm going to go with 1-1.
Oh, yeah. 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
Okay.
And Kane will get
no one backing Arsenal to win tomorrow.
I mean, again, I have to speak it into existence.
Oh, right.
I think
so
it's the home advantage. That's the difference.
That home advantage for Tottenham.
Yeah. Let me not say nothing. Yeah, but
Right then, let us know in the comments your predictions for tomorrow. 3-1 Arsenal, says Sadiq. Let's get into some super chats.
Oh mate, we are tearing them apart. Oh, so much space for Matoma out on that left.
Do you want to read them out?
Big Ash was asking, I've just lost it now, but he was asking about, you've seen obviously Arsenal come to the Amex, and he was asking, what did you think of Arsenal's credentials when you saw them?
Yeah, it's a completely different team.
We did that on Super Chat. Here's one though from Brannan Prakash, who says, Bowley just trying to stop Arsenal signing Mudryk in Jan is driving up the price. He knows Mudryk wants Arsenal. Shameless. Bowley is Trump, but in football. It's a decent shout, to be fair.
See that.
Might be a new agenda.
My goodness me!
Oh! Vamos! Please be Solly March, Hattie. Please. Please be Solly March. Danny Welbeck. Welle.
Yeah, Liverpool might have to have some I'm not gonna lie, the uncomfortable conversations are gonna have to start in it.
Look at Jules Reed, she's buzzing. I'm buzzing. 3-0 Brighton.
And I'm not talking about Klopp, I'm just talking about the players. Like now, if you don't make some serious changes, man, you need to get some of these players are finished, man.
Danny Welbeck.
It's over. It's over, man. You can't be playing like this every week, man. Some of these players, they need to be. I know you got soft spots for some of these players, but it's over, man. Someone's got to go. Someone's got to give it up, man. He's not getting a second revival out of some of these players. They ain't going again with this group, with some of these 30, 31, 32-year-olds.
Unless you have a manager like De Zerbi.
Yeah,
can I just say,
either Klopp or some of them seniors. One of them.
With 10 minutes to go, the aggregate score this season now of Liverpool and Brighton is 6-3 to Brighton.
6-3. Yeah, that is crazy.
This day is long. I should have
Here
just
he is,
stayed in bed, man.
Oh my God! What a goal! Has he dinked it over Trent's head? If Messi done that, we'd be talking about that. He's absolutely embarrassed.
Let me tell you now, trust me, you will want to watch the COP TV after this game. It's going to be me and Ben. You're on it.
Am I?
Yeah, you're going to come on.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to let some steam off right there, because right now
what a finish.
I'm obviously being a professional presenter, and I have to update you with the scores as they go in live. But of course,
Gomez's head.
It's a great goal. It's a great goal. Makes it even worse.
Oh my God, that was criminal.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a goal!
Forest are also now 2-0 up. Brennan Johnson gets his second of the day. They've doubled their lead against Leicester. And Danny Welbeck has just rolled back the years and made Joe Gomez look like a schoolboy defender.
He's never done that before in his life.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
That's the first time he's done that.
World Cup winner Alexis McAllister goes off to a standing ovation.
Resting McAllister against Liverpool. This is mad.
Oh, mate, this is painful, man.
Jeez.
Why is the Chelsea fan talking, says
Because,
Patrick?
bro, this is all I've got. What do you mean, why am I talking? I can't talk when I play, obviously.
Here he is. Jeremy Sarmiento, we were talking about him earlier. Another regen, come out of nowhere.
Bruv. This is horrible. Absolutely horrible. What a great afternoon, says Erafshat. AGT, you still think you can win the title?
That's rude. You guys are on shift today. We're on shift tomorrow.
Yeah. AGT, the banter club, Liverpool is born, says Mohammed. Big up to you, mate. Ward Scouse, says Jack Burton. Wow. We need him. I told Sir AGT balled off footballing masterclass, says Pundit. And Welbs is that guy, says Josh Roden.
He is that guy.
Oh, mate.
That goal was incredible.
Do you know what? I might have to have a coffee today for the first time in my life.
I need more than that, man.
I'll have to have a bottle of champagne, I think.
Yeah, 2 different drinks, 2 different needs. Where are you now, says Awesome Cookies. I'm still sitting here, as I have been for the last 2 hours. I'm still going to be here later on as well. Liverpool getting stunted on right now in the comments.
Look, Gross is doing flips.
Oh, Gross.
They're taking a piss.
Is that a Cater yellow now
Gross
as well?
doing flips, Naby's doing kicks and giving away fouls.
I never thought I'd say this, but let's see out this and damage limitation 3-0. It can't be 4-0. Can't be.
This is when you hit it in ultra defensive and Football Manager.
Time wasting foot.
Pathetic from Joe Gomez there. My WhatsApps are streaming in as well, which I won't even check. not even going to look at WhatsApp now.
I think I know what mine's going to look like.
Yeah.
Sure. I love football so much, man. just jokes. Makes no sense.
Just the passing is beautiful.
Oh no! Back post! You gotta stop this! One more! Think of the children!
We want more.
Think of the families!
We want more.
No,
we
this
want
is
four.
crazy.
We want four.
You gotta
We
think of
want
the families. Brighton are ruthless. Well, you're not gonna stop.
Never.
You guys made your point, man. We know you're a good team. Relax.
De Zerbi's ruthless. We're talking about ruthlessness that Klopp doesn't have. De Zerbi's kicked Trossard out of the Brighton team. And look, we're still beating Liverpool 3-0.
Nah, man.
Trossard was in the Euro tunnel going back to Belgium yesterday.
Yo, Brighton are pushing for Europa League this season.
Europa League, mate, I'll take it. I'll take Conference League.
Nah, you man are definitely looking for Europe.
I don't know. Look, Fulham and Brentford are still there.
Yeah,
there or
man,
thereabouts,
I
which is
know.
a classic.
We can't get
football
West London under control anymore.
Eprem with the super chat, 3-0 to Arsenal. Eddie Brace
Imagine.
and Martinelli or Saka scoring and Odegaard assisting at least 2 of those goals. What a goal by Welbeck. Put them boy in a spliff. Brilliant. AGT, you owe £1 million to Arsenal fans in May now. Cheers, Hussein. Klopp the flop is back at the cop, says Joshua. That might even be my YouTube title today, to be honest. My video reaction.
Jurgen flop.
Chill out.
Relax. Respect. Wow.
I don't know where to go with this now.
There is nowhere to go.
This is torture. There's nowhere to hide.
Insane. It's insane.
Should have done a U and just stayed in bed on Monday morning, man.
I passed out.
I don't even know if I'm going to turn up to that show now.
You don't have to, man. I'll hold it down.
I think contractually it probably says I do. But I might have to get a lawyer on the case. Ball comes in from Solly March and it's headed away from Joe Gomez. They could get a 5th. They could get a 6th if they really, really wanted to do it. They could.
So going to a different, I know this is tough for me, but going to a different ground. Forest, I think, took the goal scorer twice. Brennan Johnson, who hasn't really been getting too many goals. There's a bit of hype around him at the beginning of the season. Now scoring goals.
Yeah.
Good youngster, maybe.
Very good from what I've seen
there's Tony
the last
Bloom.
couple of weeks.
You can take our staff, you can take our players, but you can never take our Bloom. And that is the facts.
German.
You Brighton, man, are starting to really grind my gears. You know that?
Brighton and them, man. Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Brighton and Fulham and them, man.
They're both
and now look where Brighton, Fulham and them, man are.
Yeah.
Ahead of us, man.
Ahead of you, man.
Brighton actually overtake Liverpool in the table.
So Fulham
with
are
this
level
result.
Really?
or are they ahead?
Yeah, for sure.
We let them.
Oh my days!
Oh
my
my
word! He's twined.
Who is this guy?
Who's
Who's
spun him like a Beyblade?
It was Welbeck, but like, who is in his body? Who's controlling
Where's
his
the
body?
midfield again, though? Seriously.
Yeah.
Bruv,
Look at
someone's
this.
got a pad.
Someone's giving him 99 attributes. Look at that turn.
Insane.
Wow.
Football is a humble.
Fucking hell. Chabadi G asks Alex, "Are you Klopp in still?" Of course I am. Until if it goes to 5-0, you ask me again.
Point tomorrow against Palace. Stop the bleeding.
Klopp and Pepper washed, says Ty Junior. Mind the gap, liver scum. Glory, glory, Man United.
I was walking
Brilliant.
past some Liverpool fans at Brighton Station earlier this afternoon. They're all very chirpy, but I'm sure it won't be like that.
Chirpy? Have they been watching?
Well, I think
This
they
is
are.
before the game,
Yeah,
though.
before
Yeah,
the
I know.
game.
That's what I mean.
Liverpool Scousers are quite chirpy people, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, they won't be.
By the way, we haven't spoken about this. West Ham losing to Wolves in a relegation battle. West Ham against relegation rivals, and they're going to be in the relegation zone if they're not careful. Because Nottingham Forest are also winning.
I think Wolves will do well with under the new manager.
Like, when are we going to talk about David Moyes getting sacked?
No, he should have been
Soon.
sacked.
What's going on?
I thought he
we
was
haven't
sacked when
spoken about
Nicky
that
said it
whole
on the show
West
last
Ham
week.
are losing to Wolves.
We'll be talking about the sacking tonight. I think
Surely he has to be sacked.
He should be. He should have been gone already. This is worse than, I think, Pellegrini's run. This is worse than a lot of previous managers who've been sacked on
Do you remember what I said?
better situations.
Southampton 3 points away from West Ham.
Yeah.
Southampton are winning.
Yeah.
Like, West Ham are losing.
No, I need that.
West Ham are level on points with Southampton.
Do you know what West Ham became the last 2 years? They became what Leicester were the 2 years before that. Every year there was one kind of gate crasher to the top 6, and it was always, Spurs, are you scared there?
Yeah.
And we were like, bro, we've been here 10 years. We might not be winning shit, but we know how to be a top 6 club. These are our flash in the pans, and this is what you could see. And if you look at that West Ham team, when you read it out earlier, and I was reading Souček, I'm like, you lot still think this is Souček from 2 years ago, where you look at what he was good as well at was just heading at the back post on set pieces. And it's like, watch him on the ball. This guy's at Bambi on ice. It's like you're still relying on Antonio to get you goals. It's like, come on, we spent all that money on Scamacca for. It just doesn't make sense. There hasn't been that evolution, I feel like, for West Ham to be that top side. And I think that's where David Moyes has struggled. It's almost like when Stoke tried to change their identity from being this robust counter-attacking team to try and be in a free-flowing football. David Moyes does not know how to do that. His bread and butter has been...
that's the thing. It's the wrong manager. Some good players, but wrong manager.
Yeah.
Who would they go for? Like, Poch is... I think they're too low for Poch. I think...
And that's the thing.
I think
Poch needs to stop. Poch is waiting to come back to us. I know it, but I'm like, bro, stop being so stubborn, man. Villa job was there. West Ham job is there. I feel like he would get so much free reign and control over there.
You better than that.
I don't know, man.
Dennis the Great in the chat. Alex, last season you saw United as a joke. Now United are 10 points above you. Football is a humbler.
Football is a humbler.
It is a humbler.
Karen Matoma comes off. The university student 3 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Balling out against Liverpool in the Premier League now. If you're at home thinking, what am I doing with my life? Just look at Karen Matoma. Things can change quickly.
I said this was the worst Premier League season of all time on Twitter, and I think the rivals are very angry.
4,500 likes.
I don't think I should go back on Twitter today.
Wow.
Just add to the thread saying for Chelsea. And
no, I know. I stand by what I said. After that Manchester Derby full time, this is the worst Premier League season ever.
Adam Webster's back.
It's awful.
Love to see it.
Absolutely horrendous.
Looks like Everton are going to lose as well at home to Southampton. James Ward-Prowse with 2 goals, as we know. After that Onana first half goal. Brighton 3, Liverpool 0 at the minute.
Liverpool a point,
Wolves are 1-0 up at home to West Ham, whereas Forest are 2-0 up at home to Leicester. Bad result that is for Leicester, by the way. Corner comes in here for Liverpool. Is there a consolation goal?
I'm going to the King Power next week.
Oh, yeah?
For my first trip to the King Power. Hopefully, it should be another win. Looking at them right now, losing to Forest. It'll be good.
Oh my word!
I'm so glad I do like weekly shows with rival fans, because it's just I'm gonna laugh regardless. I got Liverpool on some ice. I know I'm gonna be on some ice, but I got Man City on some ice.
I'm leaving with some.
I'm gonna have my fun anyway. I'll tell you that. As shameless as it is, I'm gonna enjoy. It's gonna be mad. It's
Jamie Eason, Liverpool v Chelsea next week. El Shitico.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yo, that's washed.
That's the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what's his name? Nuno Espirito Santo, isn't it? With the Sakiko.
I can't wait for that Liverpool game against Chelsea, man. It's going to be so funny.
Moyes and Lampard should be sacked soon. Coming in from Soviet Threat. That sounds quite ominous. I don't want to hear that name.
Bloody hell, mate.
Soviet Threat. Jeez.
All right.
But he sends in a super chat, nonetheless, or her, or they. They should be sacked soon. There you go.
Remember him.
As a very, very long coach trip back up to Liverpool, by the way.
It is.
Oh, my word.
Shakhtar just tweeted the eyes emoji.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This is right after talks have come out that Bowley is basically in Poland, obviously, to hijack the Mudryk deal.
Yeah.
And now Shakhtar
Goal for Wolves. It's 2-0 at home now, and West Ham look very, very, very doomed here. It's 2-0. They've doubled their lead. Brighton have also won the game 3-0. It's full time at the Amex. Congratulations to Brighton. They're much the better team. Liverpool weren't even in this game really from minute 1. That goal now has apparently been disallowed for Wolves. VAR rules that one out. But we've got our first full time of the day. It's Brighton 3, Liverpool 0. Unbelievable result here for Liverpool. More than Brighton. I actually told you off camera we're going to lose this game, and we have.
But not
Brighton
like this,
absolutely smashed it.
Hasn't been any fight in Liverpool.
Bro,
no, none.
We've
like
been
literally,
awful.
Liverpool have not provided anything in this game. There's not even a moment of 10 minute, 15 minute where I thought, okay, Liverpool are back now. Liverpool are trying. Liverpool are putting some pressure on. The whole match has just been all Brighton. When Brighton want to take a little lunch break, maybe little tea breaks,
well deserved,
and then they go back again.
Trent boots the ball out into the stand.
Jesus Christ, that's probably the worst Liverpool performance I've seen this season, and that's saying something.
Wow.
Well.
I'd love to see the live Premier League table. That'd be good. Say we're above you now, Alex.
Maybe you can. Maybe
Listen
you
to
can.
that,
Maybe
Brighton
you can.
fans.
Maybe you can qualify for the Champions League.
It's looking that way.
Would you like that Champions League? A little bit of Champions League money?
Step too far so far.
You think so?
I think.
Listen,
I do think.
this season's so ups. I don't know what to say.
And there's the confirmation. Brighton 3 wins in 5. They now have 30 points. Liverpool 1 loss in the last 5, which doesn't even really tell a full story. They've actually won 4 in a row. Is that even true?
No. So it's 2 defeats now in the last 5.
Right.
So
You need update.
No, but
It's
that's
not updated,
updated.
it's not updated.
Surely it has though, because the Brighton are above Liverpool now.
No, but you lost the last game, didn't you? You lost against Brentford.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Brentford
not
and
updated.
Brighton.
It's not possible. It's not
Going
updated.
back to
2
Brighton
losses
being
in a
in
row
the
for
European
Liverpool.
spots, right? This now thinking that actually could happen. It terrifies me that you'd have that poison chalice of playing in Europe, not having a big enough squad to cope with it. If we were to get Europa League or Europa Conference League, it could be a big distraction where we then end up only finishing like bottom half of the table, not really doing well in the Prem.
But you want that, don't you? Like Europe.
It would be a great
Brighton.
experience, but also it is doing well in the Premier League feels a lot better.
For me,
I really want to experience.
what's the goal,
away
isn't
day,
it? Like
obviously.
for
It
Brighton,
is.
like what's the goal? Getting in Europe and
100%.
having those away days and that experience. Surely that's like,
But
unless you plan to crack the top 4, which would probably take a lot of
way up,
investment, and you'd have to be bought out or something to do that consistently. I think Europa League is kind of, I don't want to say the ceiling, but that is not something I would be worried about. I would just say, bruh.
But we've seen it so many times where it affects.
It does.
leagues.
It definitely does. You just need to you need a bigger squad, but
Yeah.
it's
And we've brought in brilliant players to get us where we are now, and I have faith that if we do get Europa League, we'll.
I think you should go for Europa.
Recruitment. Yeah, we've got the recruitment to
go for Europa.
build the squad and hopefully do
All
well
right,
in
well,
both.
it's full time in every single Premier League game. It's finished. Brighton 3, Liverpool 0, Everton 1, Southampton 2, Forest 2, Leicester 0, and of course Wolves 1 in the end. West Ham 0. Let's go to our predictions to see how we fared. Did you send them all to me, guys?
Yeah.
Oui, bonsoir, mon ami.
Let's go to Ben first.
Call me Fuad, Danny.
You went for a 2-2 draw. Brighton 2, Liverpool 2. I can't give you any points there.
I did.
I
And
went
that
for the same as well.
Stupid move.
I can't give you man any points.
Why would
there,
I do
then.
that? Like,
Everton 0, Southampton 2. I can give you a point for that, Ben.
I went 0-0 there.
Forest 1, Leicester 1. I can't give you anything there, and I can't give you anything for Wolves. West Ham. You went for 1-1. Let's go on the old WhatsApp.
did I even predict Wolves?
Fuad, Brighton 2, Liverpool 2, no points. Everton 0, Southampton 0, no points. Forest 2, Leicester 1, I can give you a point. Wolves 1, West Ham 1, I can't give you any points. And Brentford, you've gone for a 1-0 win at home to Bournemouth at the 5:30 kickoff. And Matisse, 2-2 again. Southampton 2-0 at Everton, I can give you a point. Forest 1-1 Leicester, can't give you anything. And Wolves 2, West Ham, I can give you a point. So this week, Matisse wins.
That is one of the most embarrassing wins of my life ever. Such a
You've got to take every win you can get.
What on, champ?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the Saturday Football Show. Massive shout out to Ben for coming on. Congratulations, mate. If you want to hear more from Ben, trust me, he'll be over on the COP TV very shortly with myself, and it could be an explosive one. So make sure all you Liverpool fans, or fans that aren't even Liverpool fans, and want to see
just enjoy
fake Scouse tears, then go over there. Matisse, big up to you as well, and of course Fuad, as always.
Not a good day for you, is it?
No. I don't even want to big myself up for that because I feel like I'm part of this poor performance today. But yeah,
You've been professional.
I guess we'll be back, at some point. I might not be.
Are you coming? Robbie will be there, surely, won't you?
Surely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know. Probably not. Breaking news: Liverpool been smoked by Brighton. Cheers, Ty Junior. Thanks everyone at home for watching. You've been brilliant in the comments today. Make sure you subscribe to DR Sports if you have not already. And I guess we'll see you next week if I turn up.
Peace.